6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is loose. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 3 knots. Rotate.
Well, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here on this Monday morning in Burbank, California, where the marine layer is just starting to, looks like it's starting to thin up just a hair here. We got some holes breaking through. The sun is up. The pumpkin spice lattes are flowing like the salmon of Capistrano. It's going to be a wonderful morning. The ifly 737 MAX 8 is out. It is available for purchase. It's available for pre-release. So basically the same exact version that y'all saw me fly in yesterday and the day before, I believe, is the same version that's out. I think it's 2.5, 0.2.5 or something like that. There is the pre-release available for purchase. You can go ahead and pick them out now. It is no longer a pre-release stream. This is out and ready. So we're going to do something a little different today. Here with my bad hardware. Don't even get me started, Zippy. We're going to do 2 legs in the 737. And I put a poll up in the chat because I wasn't sure, since this airplane is out now, if we should do the second leg. But y'all voted to see it. And to be quite honest with you, I'm actually curious myself because I haven't flown the PMDG in quite some time. We're going to do a direct comparison, not, comparing, well, I guess we are comparing. We're literally comparing the same thing. But I just want to see where the airplanes stand up against each other. I know the Max is not an NG and vice versa, but just to see what it looks like. Let's look at the textures hardcore. Let's look at the sound, or listen to the sounds. Let's see what it feels like to hand fly right side by side, one stream, one leg after another. We're just going to reload the airplane and the PMDG on the leg back, and we're going to take it up. So it should be an interesting stream. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. Double 737 content for you. I'm basically a professional 737 driver at this point. I will say that this camera angle right here is pretty hot. Like, I really like this angle on this Max here with these leaps sticking out here. I mean, this shot looks pretty dang good, does it not? So I don't know, it should be fun. I just fresh installed this airplane as well. Now this is my fourth clean install trying to get flap sounds, and some people in my Discord have flap sounds. Some don't have them in the air. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong or if it's just maybe a configuration. Sometimes I hear the flap sounds. They're just very, very quiet. So still rough around the edges in some aspects. All I'm trying to do is recreate the flap sounds that we heard in the Mr. Saturday video, which was absolutely awesome. So this is a fresh install, and we're gonna see what it's. I haven't tested the sounds yet. I've literally just fired it up, and we're gonna go at it here together for the first time. So come along with me. We're going Burbank to San Jose to LA, and then later this afternoon, please stick around for the hardcore Airbus stream where I need to get back proficient in the A320 because I go to work tomorrow. I fly to Reno, I fly to Vegas, I fly to LA, I'm doing West Coast somewhere, John Wayne, I think. So I need to get proficient in the 320. I've been off for about a month, and we're going to use the sim to do that for us as well. So here we go. Thanks, Dougal. You got the link. Ah, perfect, my friend. I tell you what, I'm going to take that, and I'll pin that, Dougal. Thanks for that, my friend. Hope you're doing well, sir. I'm going to paste this here and pin it. That way you can pick it up if you would like to. How did the Cowboys do last night? Don't even. I should have just stayed here with y'all and done a second leg. I should have stayed here and done a second leg. It was absolute atrocious. Hopefully tonight the Jets are going to pull off a miracle against the Buffalo Bills, and everything will be A-okay. But until then, I don't know, and we're just going to enjoy having a little Max flying. All right, Bears, Grid, and Cowboys. Hey, yay. It was an absolute massacre. It was an absolute massacre. All right, let's fire up this bird. Bills Mafia's in the house. Hey, Bills Mafia, we're gonna have to do some things in the Discord, my friend. So, all right, here we go. I worked on the sound settings. Everything should be back to normal. So if you have sound problems, it's your problem, not mine. Let's go ahead and fire this puppy up here. Jeremy Harvey says, keep in mind the real life NG does feel different than the Max in real life. They should not feel the same. Well, that's what we're going to go after, Jeremy. We're hopefully we will be able to recreate that, my friend. Now, what's interesting here too is I hooked up ground power per ground support. I thought I did. I did not. Now I did. Cha-ching. All right, we got our ground power on, and let's go ahead and take it from the top. We'll go ahead and put you into a line nav. A line nav, that's going over there. Heading STS, that looks good. No dome light required. Press to test the slats. Let's work down the overhead panel here. That looks good. We're going to do left forward fuel pump for the SOP of VAAL. Everything stays off in this position. We are on ground power, and then we are going to put you on the battery. No amps drawn, battery bus. That looks good. We'll go ahead and turn on the in-flight entertainment, so you can go ahead and get your movies picked out for the short 54-minute flight up to San Jose. No circuit breakers. I'll juice up the panel here just a tad. Recenter my view. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. No smoking on. Fasten seatbelts are off. Logo lights on, and position lights into steady position. Cruise altitude, flight level 300 is set. We will do A's on, B's off, and window heats are coming on. Let's go ahead and we will set up the air conditioning here momentarily. but I think we got a good initial setup here. Sounds are a little low. I'm not even listening to you, man. Huey fam. Oh, sorry, I didn't know what you were talking to. Oh, Huey, we're flying American today. Looks like we've got Spiritual Wangs, 320 next to us. I tell you what, all the 737 flying, I am anxious to get back in that Fenix and just to see my baby. I want to get back home, you know? Back home to my baby in the Fenix. All right, FMC, ident. Let's do a pause and knit. GPS left will bring you back. Boom. Out to the route page. We should have it filed via SimBrief. We are where we left off and left the wheels on the runway. We're Burbank going up to San Jose. I love flying to I love San Jose Airport. It's just like, it's the proper Bay Airport. You know what I'm saying? Flight number is Merkin 357. Boom. Flight plan request. We'll send that off. Go ahead and clear you out. And let's go over here to the initialize flight, which we did. Initialize flight. Airport map, terminal charts. Let's go ahead and work through this clunky machine. But this is part of the experience. This is definitely part of the experience, in my opinion, is getting used to manipulating this clunky EFB. I think if you want to really enjoy this airplane for what it's worth, I think you need to get used to manipulating this clunky EFB. We're sitting over here off of runway 8, so we are over here somewhere. Be straight back. It's a very sussy airport to do ramp ops. Every time you come into Burbank, the landing isn't the most intense part. It's always ramp operations. There are so many things that can go wrong. It's such a tight, congested area. Somebody doesn't clear the runway. Somebody makes a wrong turn. Somebody pushes too far. You could have a catastrophic accident. So I'm surprised and thankful that the FAA is still running Burbank, but it would not surprise me if they end up shutting this thing down, because it is there is zero room for air in this airport. But that's where we are here. Let's go back to the menu. Actually, hide menu. Go back. We need to do edit clip, and we need to look at the SID that we filed, which is, are the liveries in the ifly manager included? Yes, there's like 14. There was a few more liveries this morning, so I fresh installed, and I saw a couple of not Canyon blues. I saw the old school blue, or the regular blue Max livery, and then I saw the desert gold, which the desert gold on the Max is cool. I like it, but it's not like the original desert gold that wasn't sparkly. But I did see that there was some, who's flying? I think Captain Ken was flying the desert gold, so I didn't want to double up on desert gold streams. Run the Orsaz 2 departure, by the way, so look for the Orsaz 2. We will complete that. We'll throw that right there. Orsaz 2, we'll let that load. We'll zoom it in, and we should be uplink ready. So let's go ahead and load the flight plan. We'll finish this up here. Desert gold always looks better on the 2 and 300s. I agree, Diabetic Lad. I agree. They're building, does it have Ryanair? I want to say I saw it, Thomas. I could be wrong, though. I know there's a couple Ryanairs on the Flight Sim TO. This particular livery is from Silky Smooth. This is not a default livery on American, and I haven't seen it on the Flight Sim TO yet, but it looks pretty darn close to release. This is the non-mismatched nose cone from Silky Smooth, Hughes by Horizon by Southwest. I don't know, there's like 14 different names on it, but it goes by Silky in the Discord. Fantastic livery creator. This is one of his 2-pack liveries that should be dropping soon, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Ryanair as well. Yes, I agree. We need some dirty liveries. The wings, it's very light dependent. Like if you look at this wing texture right now, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks pretty dang good. But if you go bright sun here with no clouds, you can see that it's got that plasticky, super clean finish. That's where we need our special livery creators to step in and put some grime on these birds. They're building a new terminal there? Oh, really, Steven? Okay, well, hey, man. Let's do it. All right, we'll activate the route, execute. Let's finish this up here. Perf init. So before we get to the perf init, let's come over here and do our own perf. Payload and performance. We will go to weight and balance, and we're going to input our own perf. This is something that is still not implemented to the best of my knowledge. Unless y'all have seen something different, I have not discovered or read a way that you can uplink performance data to your FMC. You can upload the route and the winds if you go the old school way, but I have not seen how you upload weights automatically to the FMC. So what we do here is I just pull up my sim brief on a second monitor, and we're going to load up the passenger count here. This says 189 again, but we got 178 max. Jeez. 178 max cargo. Hold on, I got to go back. This is in kgs. I forgot that this is a systems page. It's a livery dependent. Back. No, not failures. Panel style. General US system. And I tell you what, you can actually set different hydraulic pumps. Built-in air stair sunblinds. I want all that. Okay, so we will set that. While we're here, I'm going to set this up. Apologize. Give me 1 minute here. I did do the reinstall, so I'm going to make sure everything is set up here properly. Round dial integrated. We want split axes. I want to install the HUD again because I do like the HUD. MFD JipWiz. What do we got here? V1 speed. Normal call out. That's all looking fine. Runway awareness, RAS. Should we turn it on? It is on. We want US system. And we'll set that. Beautiful. Page 2. Nothing to change there. CDU. I don't think any gross weight. Blah, blah, blah. We'll leave that. We'll leave that the way it is. Let's go back and miscellaneous. Next page. Back. Other systems. Enable HUD. That's what we want. There we go. HUD is enabled. Should the MAX have dirty wings as it's a new airplane? Jeremy, when I say dirty, I mean not just... I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it completely dirty. There's no reason why. I'm sure there's some Maxes out there that are really dirty just because maybe they've had maybe there was one Max that had a hydraulic leak in the main gear, right? And then that has leaked up onto the flaps, and over time that creates grime and it gets dirty. That's where a lot of that grime comes from. It's little leaks here and there, just little leftover greases that leave the wheel well. They get thrown up onto the wing or underside of the wing. Then they leach through and it collects dirt over time. Now, I'm sure, brand new airplane is not going to be dirty, but just give me a little something, because when you look at the wing when it's really bright out, Jeremy, it looks so clean, it looks flat, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll take a look at it again once we get up to cruise. All right, ice detection probe. Well, sure, let's throw that on here too. Climb thrust mode in cruise. I wonder if I enable that, if it would. I don't think it would fix my throttle noise issue. Let's go with the Vickers. Let's go with the ABEX hydraulic, should we? We're going to switch up the hydraulic. All right. Now that we've got everything that I wanted to set up, we can go back to our perf data. So let's go back to our passengers. 178 cargo. We're in pounds now. We have, let's see, we got 3,500 in the front, and we've got 4,800 in the aft. That looks good. The fuel. Our total fuel block fuel for this trip is 11,100. Or 11,000, let's call it 11,100. 11,100 block fuel. All right, so set fuel, set payload. We are done and done. We are complete. Now if I look over here, we got 11,100, and we should be ready to rock and roll. There's our HUD too. We'll go ahead and stow that. All right, let's come down here. Gross weight, that looks good. Reserve fuel. I don't know how much we're supposed to be taking. Let's just put 1 in there. We'll go cost index 55. We'll go 25 because it's a short flight. It's 54 minutes. Cruise altitude 300. Execute N1. We are doing a 28K maximum juice takeoff. So that's set. Takeoff TO1. Burbank, what do they do? Flaps 5 or 15 out of here? Let's do 5. CG 533, 37, 39, 50. Our init is complete. We're not going to run with the cutback. We're just going to go full yoga, maximum juice. Let's spool up the APU. Take a listen outside. Ooh, you're getting a new type rating. Velociraptor, good to see you, man. Look, dude, if I gotta fly a 7.3 Max to keep my job, I would do it. I'm not quite ready to make the jump yet. I will say, though, that I can understand the allure of the 737. I really can. yoke, hand flying, flipping switches. That is cool. To me, this seems like an airplane where I would love to do it. Can I fly the 737 for a month? Cool. Okay. I flew it for a month. Now get me back to my baby on the Airbus. Put my feet up. I've got all the... I just feel at home. And come on, I've been on the Airbus for 10 years. She's my baby. If it was the other way around, I'd probably be saying the same thing. Like, ooh, I don't trust Airbus. But 10 years on one airframe, you get to really know the ins and outs of that bird. But thanks for the 22 months support, my man. How the sounds? Can you guys hear that APU startup sound, though? Where's Zippy at? Zippy, you're the only one I trust. And Dugal. In the ifly plugin, did you create airport maps? Bradley, yes. You want to create airport maps if you're speaking about getting RAS, for getting the RAS working. Now, I did hear that there is a potential issue when you go, if you have add-on linker for sceneries. This is secondhand. I was just talking to somebody on a Discord briefly. I can't confirm or deny it, but I think somebody said they had an issue with RAS when they were using SimLinker or something. I could be completely off base, but I'm just throwing that out there for you to see if I can help someone out. Sounds are 5x5. Perfect. Thanks, Zippy. Josh says, yeah, right, I could see you stream full-time if you couldn't have your Airbus. I tell you what, Josh, that would be the first step. I would go full-time streamer first, and if that didn't pay the bills, then I'd go fly a 737. You're absolutely right. All right, we're going to go ahead. Seatbelt signs are on. We are going to go APU on bus. Ah, no. Oh, jeez. I love switch manipulation on this thing. All right, we're on. Ground power is available. That doesn't screw up anything, does it, when I do that? Hopefully not. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect the... GPU. We will disconnect electric. Set. Go back here. We'll go back here. No, menu, terminal charts. That's what we need. All right, we're looking good. Let's see. Top altitude 23. It's hard for you to see. I know it. We'll set 300 since there's nobody online. 300. Our V2 speed is 150. We will do V2 of 150, right? That's what we determined. We set V2 up here. IS of 150. V2 is set. Runway heading. What's the wind sock doing out here? Anybody got any wind? I think winds are calm. We're going to blast off that, what's that other runway? 15. So let's load that in here. So we'll finish our departure arrival index. Departures 15. Orsos 2 departure. And we're going out to Corez, I think. Yep, Corez. Oh, beautiful. Execute. This is all good. This is a two-way stream here on the street because, or two-way street on the stream because I'm going to be flying out in this part of the world tomorrow, so I'm getting used to all these runways and stuff and fixes. Going northbound into San Jose, 30 left is the plan. ILS 30 left off the Silicon 6 arrival and the Trox intersection. That checks out. We'll leave it there at the FAF. That looks good. All right, departure arrival legs page is done. Our perf data is all set up. I think we are just about ready to go, chat. Are you? Let's go ahead and check out what the CTAF is on Iveo Premium. And we also have a auto ATC squawk code. And then we're ready to push back and start. So auto ATC squawk 7632. 7632. Boom, that is set. We're TARA. We'll put this into on. Make sure Lauren gets upset. So that is in the on position. 7632 on the squawk. CTAF.CTAF K Burr. .118.7. 118.7 is set. 22.8 on standby. Beautiful. Pretty sure Lauren wants it on. Well, yes, they want it on, but it should be in. It should work in auto, right? right? I think that's how it goes. All right, Flight Director 1, Flight Director 2, you have to scroll these. LNAV, VNAV off the ground. Auto throttle will get that after takeoff or at the lineup. I'm going to hide the yoke. Flight controls seem to be working. Let me turn this brightness down though. Just a little bit bright in here. We will also throw up terrain mode. Terrain mode and the flight path vector, please. That is all set. All right, we are ready to push. Burbank traffic, American 357. We're going to be pushing back here, straight back off, I don't know what gate this is. What is this gate? Alpha 2. We'll remain clear of all runways, Burbank traffic. Actually, that's going to be tight. I don't know how we're going to be able to do that. So, all fuel pumps are coming on. Set altitude to cruise off by 100 feet. Oh, 10,000 feet I'm off. Yeah, look at that. Jeez, look at that. Thank you. Crisis averted. We're going up to San Jose, my friend. All right, that's set. Beacon is on. Packs. Hydraulics. Let's go. Let's go ahead and release the brake. We'll bring up our Throttletek cameras and Cat 3 design tillers. Love it. Again, links are in the description if you want to check out any of this awesome hardware peripherals for the Max or your Boeings. Absolutely love it. All right, here we go. Brakes are released. Holding the brakes with my feet. Shift P. Tug is connecting. Let's go. All right, now I can pay more attention to the chat. Appreciate you. Probe heat and yaw damper. There is no... We'll get probe heat. Why do you all keep telling me yaw damper? There is no yaw damper switch. Oh, there is. But I thought you got that after start. I guess you turn it on now because the electric pumps. Okay. Good point. I was thinking that you would wait till after start. But I guess you have the electric hydraulics working, right? So... The Canadian in the house, my man. Good to see you, dude. How you doing? Canadian says V1 is going to come fly the 1900D with me since we have a lavatory inside, man. Hey, look, hey, Canadian, I would, man. I would love to go for a few flights in the 1900. I wouldn't mind that at all, my friend. Wouldn't mind that at all. Thank you so much for the 10 months support. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to stop as close as we can to the end. That's about it. We're going to have to make a hard turn. Step on the brakes fully. Set your park brake lever. Brakes are set. That is if you have the realistic mode for parking brake engaged. All right. Park brakes are set. Beacons on. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ground 2. Here we go. Take a listen. So she's going to motor here. After motoring is complete, what is it, 26% N1, then fuel on. You can hear the increase there, so it looks like the motoring is complete. We should be at 26%. My favorite part of flying any 737 right here. Love this part of the Throttletek. Fuel on. Shh. Okay, that puts a smile to my face every time. That is juice. I did attempt to fix the rudder issue. Big big monkey. I will show you my curves. They're absolutely insanity. Let's go ahead and start engine number 2. Somebody want to see. The N1 is stopped before we go to ground. And now we go to ground and it will automatically start motoring. So here we go. We'll go to ground. You can see now it spins up. It just happens quick. All right, we'll take a listen to this one. Is that a leap or are you happy to see me? What's up, Chaos? Does a 320 Neo CFM whine at the end? The Neo CFM, no. Oh, you mean the Neo CFM leap? Oh, well, duh, because you said Neo. Yes, it does. I don't think it's as pronounced as, though, on the 7.3, though. Can I finance a 737 MAX to put in my driveway? No, but you could finance the Throttletek G737 MAX throttle quadrant. Just as close. Yeah, F80, I'm going to show you my sensitivity settings about the rudder, and I'll tell you exactly what I think was happening. Yeah, we pushed early. We pushed early. Wingnut, what's up? Good to see you, Wingnut. How you doing, man? And fuel on. Last time I togged in real life, Jay, it's been months. Gotta love it. All right, let's go ahead and run through somewhat of an overhead flow. Gen 1, Gen 2, APU is coming off. APU bleed, left, right, auto. Probes are on. Everything is set. Cont. We're doing a flaps 5 out of Burbank. Okay, let's see if we can hear any flap sounds. I'm going to try to listen really carefully. Oh, I can hear it barely. I can hear it. It's just very, very quiet. Isolation auto. Thank you. All right, isolation auto. We're auto off. That looks good. Overhead is set. Now, let me show you the rudder situation here real quick. So if you watch my rudders now, if I move it slowly, it's much better. But even if it still moves way too fast, in my opinion. But if I just do slow rudder, it seems much more manageable. Let me show you what this looks like, because I'll just save you the troubleshooting, because you're going to need to go right to the maximum. I don't know I don't know why this is happening, but I feel like when I have a straight linear curve. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no, yeah, here it is. My max fly sensitivity settings for the rudder. Look at this. When I press my hardware halfway, the rudder is fully deflected. Okay, and this is not a calibration issue. I redid the calibration twice. I checked it on the Fenix and the PMDG, and it works as intended. So for some reason for me, when I have any resemblance of a straight line, when I just move my pedal, not even halfway, I'd say when I move it to a third of the hardware position, the sim rudder is at full deflection. So the only way to tamper it out is to go like this. So I'm running, hell, let's make it easy. Let's go negative 30 on both of those. And I've got an extremity dead zone of 74. And that gives me somewhat of a slower rudder move. But again, I don't know. I have the MFG crosswinds. It's not a calibration issue because I've tested it on the other airplanes and I did the calibration again just to make sure. So I don't know why this is doing this, but that's what I'm attempting. What I had yesterday, guys, you saw the landing at Burbank. It was like flailing arm man when we landed in Burbank. So now I can at least control it, right? It's still aggressive, but I can control it somewhat. All right, Burbank traffic, America 357. We're going to be taxiing runway 15, crossing runway 8. Traffic in the area, please advise. Taxi lights coming on. We're going to make a hard left turn out here. Here we go. Hard left, crank it over. Again, this tiller is so fun to have. I almost want to just fly a Boeing to use a Boeing tiller. Like, I love the Airbus tiller, but the Airbus tiller is so intuitive that it's really not a big deal. This is like, it's such a wonky experience, but I love it. I love this Boeing tiller. All right, we are clear left. Burbank traffic, American 357 crossing runway 8, Burbank. But if you are interested in the tiller, do check out Cat 3 Design. Real 7, he's actually a 777 pilot. I think he just got his 777 stuff, and he's in the great US of A in the great state of Texas now, making them here at home. So just want to shout out my couple sponsors because I do appreciate, I am very thankful for all of the support I get on this channel. And when I find something that I'm passionate about and I think that you would enjoy it, I definitely want to share it. So the fidget spinner, that's right, Al Loper. Aaron, yeah, this one is more of a, it's actually like a 777, 7576. The 731, you're right, is if I were to take the Airbus tiller and put it on the wall, but it's still the same concept. Like, I'm used to having the tiller flat, like I don't know, you know, so your hand is like this, right, going this way. Even on the 7.3, though, the tiller's on the wall, so it just seems, it seems weird. Like, they just ran out of room to put the tiller in a spot that would make sense, so it's just a vertical tiller. But yeah, the taxiing the 777 is probably one of my favorite things to do with this thing. All right, runway heading 150 is set. Brake checks. Let's do a flight control check for a wing view. Okay, so you kind of see now. You see, look at my flaps. Ooh, look at the textures under there. I feel like those pop up a little too fast. It's all right. Wingman. Oh, I thought it was on. I don't give likes for flap 5 takeoffs. Oh, we'll do a flaps 40 landing. Wingnut, would you do a flaps 15 at a Burbank? Is that kind of CRJ? That's an M. What is that? An MD or 717? Oh, that's just an ugly MD80 paint job. Oh, Canadian. The displays look nice. There's no doubt, man. And I'll tell you this much: from all I did was load in the PMDG to make sure my bindings were set. I haven't flown it or started it up or anything. My immediate observation when I loaded in the PMDG cockpit was that my initial reaction loading into this airplane is correct. The texturing on this on the paneling and in the cockpit here is very, very well done. It's, I would say, a higher resolution. And I know I'm streaming in 2K, but if you, even then, through the YouTube compression, I still don't think it does it justice. The cockpit of the Max pops. The coloring, the shading of the colors, the texturing of the knobs, all look very, very good. Okay, Burbank is plenty long. 15 would be for cinematic purposes. All right, well, we'll do flaps 5 out of this one just to, just because we did flaps 15 yesterday. Simi, good to see you, man. Oh, Steven, you're in the dog? All right. Not having to work on the Xbox gets you such upgrades. Oh, so making it not compatible with the Xbox, you can go all out. That makes sense. I guess so, because that's what I did, right? They had a computer upgrade performance that you could download for the 300.
Bank angle.
Whoa.
Bank angle.
On August I asked for advice before going to school. M18 fresh out of high school, I follow your advice and passed the written 2.5 weeks in the school, cruising through the flight line and already in cadet program for a big regional airline. Thanks.
Alex, hey man, thanks for the $5 bank angle check, dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for checking in, dude. That is very exciting news. I'm glad to hear that you're crushing it and you're already out on the flight line, man. And that makes me happy. Make sure you come back and check in on us again as you progress through your training, dude. Enjoy the journey. You're only a cadet once, right? So I know it's hard when you first start flying. Initially, you have all the hype, right? Oh my gosh, I'm starting flight training. And then after about 3 weeks into it, you're like, wow, this is a lot. And you start to see the realistic outlook of how much has to be done. And it can be slightly overwhelming, but you just have to enjoy it because it only happens one time. Once you pass that cadet phase, that's it, man. That's it. You look back on it for the rest of your career. So very happy to hear that. Thanks again for the $5 bank angle check. Max Rank in the house. Hey, Max, dude. If you get that sim pit, dude, I will. I'm not joking, dude. I'll come out there, help you set it up, dude. I'll bring the beer. You bring the bourbon. And that right there, chat, is why you don't arm your auto throttle. I just bumped my Toga switch. I literally just bumped my Toga switch. Wow. You can see we got a command bar up. Xbox really holds flight sims back. Yes, I agree, Jeremy. I said that from the very first day that I flew the Microsoft 2020 pre-alpha. I said, man, this whole thing feels like a console game that is just being locked in a computer. But money, 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 money. All right, what are we doing on the like situation? 250 is our normal goal. Oh, wow, we didn't even get close to 250 for a PAX off takeoff. I thought we would be able to do a PAX off takeoff in this and a PAX off takeoff in the PMDG for full comparison. You guys are really light on that like button. What are you, afraid of the like button today? The geometry on the ifly looks better than the PMDG. Windows look the right size. PMJ always had issues with cockpit geometry. Really? Well, we're going to find out here on the return segment. All right, we'll stop here. Burbank traffic, American 357 going to line up runway 15, Burbank. Did somebody call before? What did he say? I didn't hear it. Is there a way to see traffic? I didn't see anybody on final. The Canadian dropping a...
Frontier Flight 246, crossing runway 8.
Oh, he's crossing 8. Okay. Canadian dropping a $20 super chat. I appreciate you, Canadian. Thank you so much, my man. It says, 3 years ago, I asked V1 on stream for advice on my multi-engine VFR on the PA-31. Love the PA-31. Fast forward, going on to the 1900D in 2 weeks. Set your dreams and follow them, guys. By the way, you know what? Canadian, this one's for you, my man. PAX off. No APU, so we're going to smoke them out. Isolation valve closed. I don't think it matters, right? PAX off, flaps 5, Toga takeoff. Just for you, Canadian. Thanks for the $20 super chat, my man. Not only am I going to host a landing challenge with Full Flap Sim, we're going to host a runway lineup challenge from WingView.
On runway 15.
That looks pretty good to me. I'll creep it forward here just a little bit. I wouldn't do this in real life, but I feel like I overshot a hair. We'll offset just there. Burp. There we go. That's not bad for a WingView lineup. A little cockeyed. All right, here we go. Get those yogas in chat. We're going to spool them up 50. I will turn up the sounds for takeoff a little bit. Yoga's in chat. Let's go flying, y'all. Oh. Airspeed is alive. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check.
V1.
We're Rotate. Up we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Whew. Buddy. Gosh dang it, I want to fly a 737 now. Bank angle check to the right. Here we go. There's our reduction. Flaps 1. No, Max, they did not fix the N1 spool ups. The N1 spools up way fast. Oh, this is going to be a juicy breakout view here, chat. Oh, I forgot to switch the camera. No sense in taking off a tiller cam. Gotta love it. Flaps up. Let's go. Asymmetric power alert. Yeah, it's because the auto throttle. See, it wants to... There's no lockout, no matter where I set it. If I set them here... So the only option I have, I will disengage auto throttle. And we will set climb thrust manually about 89%. See, I feel like they've somebody said that it's not possible to do an auto throttle lockout because of oh, we got to get the packs on, because of the external flight model or flight manager. But it's definitely an annoyance for me. I'll show you my workaround. I do have a workaround that's not unplugging the throttle. Let's give ourselves a direct 2. We'll go legs page. Let's go direct tiller. Direct tiller. Shot at Cat 3 design. In the turn. Blackbird Controls, another sponsor of the channel. Blackbird Controls, my man. Good to see you. $20 super chat. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to turn the sims back down. All right, sounds are coming down. Should be able to hear me just fine. We're at a 10. We'll accelerate. Let me clean up here. And then I'll get to that super chat. Thank you so much, Blackbird. All right, we're all cleaned up here. We're accelerating to 282. We're in a bank angle check to the right. We're hand flying. Packs are on. All right, let's enjoy this hand flying out here. Blackbird Controls says, I owe you V1 Sim. I wouldn't be sitting here working on orders and enjoying the streams if it weren't for you. Well, that was a real bank angle check. I thought that's another donation. That was a real bank angle check call out. Wishing you a happy return to work tomorrow, man. Hey, Blackbird, appreciate you. Seriously, man, appreciate your dedication to the community and making similar to what I was saying about Cat 3 is bringing a product home, made in the USA, stands behind your product, and I can tell you from experience it is a high quality product. So, and Blackbird Controls is now making an additional quadrant attachment to the Bravo for the 737. So make sure you check him out too if you have the Honeycomb Bravo, and maybe a Throttletek is not in your future, and but you still want something better than an entry-level throttle quadrant setup. I can't recommend Blackbird Controls anymore to fill that gap. It's a perfect gap filler. I think you're going to sell a lot of them, man. Aviation Blaze, 23 months, almost 2 years. Hey, dude, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you. Almost 2 years. Like, this thing flies so good Is full flap here? Like, in the Max, I feel like once I get this thing trimmed out, man, I'm literally just flying it with 2 fingers. Is the Max fly-by-wire? Or yoke-by-wire? I mean, because this feels so dang good. It's going to be a very interesting comparison when we go PMDG on the return. We're going to go PMDG 739 on the return. I don't own the 800, and I wasn't about to drop $70 for one leg, so we'll do the 900, which is still going to be pretty comparable, I think, as terms of systems goes. So it's all hydraulic and cable, but it's crazy, man. The flight model on this Max flies so well. I do not have FT-Sim for PMDG, Benny. I do not, no. I've always thought PMDG was pretty decent in their sounds, if I'm being completely honest with you. Alright, 18,000 STDs for you, me, and Blackbird controls. We're all set. STDs across the board. We'll go ahead and shed the engine controls over to his side so I can look at all this space here. Look at that. Look, Ma, no hands. Beautifully trimmed out. Actually need a little more trim there. I do not have a curvature for my joystick, and the reason for that being, turn this down a little bit more, is I'm using the Brunner force feedback. So the force feedback, you don't need any curves for force feedback because you literally are controlling every ounce of resolution, or every, like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's no curve needed when you have force feedback. So it's it actually, so what happens, if you're unfamiliar, when it's fully compatible, you don't even run an axis binding in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The axis is configured in the software of the yoke. So if the software is shut down, then you don't have any pitch and roll axis in the sim, which is what I have to do to get this to follow the autopilot, which I think is strange. Did they add 2 or more sensors for the MCAS? I'm not sure, Felix. Jeremy, well, hey, look, man, it's been a long time since I've flown the PMDG, so I'll be curious if you stick around for that second leg. We're going to hop back down to LAX in the NG, so I haven't flown that airplane in a very long time. I'd be interested to hear your guys' full-blown opinions on compare and contrast. I love the sound of that trim wheel with this thing. Like, Boris smashed that trim wheel sound. Look at this juice. Felix, they've only released the Max 8 as of now, and it's available at the link at the Flight 1 Manager. Alright, so what we have to do here to configure for landing, or for autopilot, what I need to do is I need to disconnect said yoke. I need to stop the software from running, and now I should be able to engage Command A. Alright, and now for the throttles, what you can do is just turn off the axes, but what I'm going to do is I think we'll just fly manual thrust on this one here. Creep them up a little bit here. We'll do our own throttle control today. Current CPU exclamation point specs, my friend. I'll pull it up for you right there. Boom. Do you have to install Navigraph, or does it use the MSF? It runs. I have Navigraph installed, and you do want to make sure that you update your Navigraph prior to launching the Max. So, because the current version it comes with is outdated. So, we'll go ahead and turn off the terrain mode. I mean, what a wasted space up here. Look at that, though. That is a beautiful rendition of a Max. Max Rank for the 54 months support. Appreciate you, dude. Says motion jacks are being looked at for the sim pit. Ooh. Comes with butt kickers, but may as well go all in. Wife is not happy with this plan. Ooh. Hey. Well, look, I mean, she's going to be unhappy one way or the other, so you might as well have an unhappy wife and a full motion sim. Because if you don't, then she's still going to get unhappy about something and you won't have the sim. You know? It's like, do I go fish another tournament and leave the wife at home with all 3 kids? And then, you know, fish a tournament, go home, she'll be upset. Or stay home, she'll get upset at the kids, and now I'm not fishing a tournament and she's upset. I'm just kidding. She's actually pretty good about that. I wonder if the issues you experience are transient or if they apply every copy of the aircraft. I'm not sure, Big Monkey. I'm not sure. Really, I can understand my yoke issue, because I do have a very specific niche yoke, as Turk likes to put it. And I do agree. It's a niche yoke. I mean, I don't know. There's almost 500 people here. I don't know if a single one of you has the Brunner force feedback yoke in the chat. So I can understand me having to do a workaround to get the autopilot to work. It's a minor inconvenience to me rather than a big deal. What is a bigger deal, though, in my opinion, is not having any sort of throttle lockout. I don't understand that, because I feel like, I mean, here's an example. Let's look. If I had noise in my throttle levers, these would be moving right now, right? So they're not moving, so I obviously don't have noise in them. But watch when I engage. It's like it knows the position of my throttles aren't where it wants them to be. So then they start to make them dance, and now I can finagle it, try to get it to where it wants them to be. I guess at 93% N1. But my question is, what happens if you have somebody that has a throttle quadrant that does have issues or does have noise? So I'll turn it off here, and they're stable as can be. I'm a little offset here. Let me bring this one up a little bit, or down. I'm over boosting it a little bit. A 93.7, that's fine. They're slightly split, but it's all good. What happens if somebody does have a noise problem? They're not going to be able to use auto throttle. So, yeah, Zippy, exactly. It's like it's expecting a motorized throttle. But I don't know. I haven't really heard of anybody else having that issue. So I also heard of people having flap sounds, and I don't have flap sounds. So I don't know if there's gremlins in my system, because I had the version before this one. I tried to do a fresh install. Maybe what I need to do, maybe there's like when I do a fresh install, there's like sometimes there's those hidden folders, right, that I need to get in there and delete some other folders that I haven't deleted. Maybe that's what I need to do, because something is not being deleted, because it does save my EFB settings. Even on a fresh install, my EFB settings are saved. So that is a very possible scenario that I'm potentially leaving a ghost file somewhere that shouldn't be there. Anyone flying CTP snagged a slot again this year? No. Not I. The trick is to buy your wife something of equal value. Upset feelings disappear immediately. That is correct. That's a good point. Pro tip. That's right, Jetson Pod, I agree. Have I been able to fly the 2024 Tech Alpha? I have not, Cody, and I think it's over now, right? I think it was only for a few days. So do I feel like I missed on anything? No. I would like to fly the beta, if they have like a beta release, maybe? Like they did for 2020, perhaps? But I'm not even sure where you sign up for any of that stuff. I'm going to walk my power back here for cruise. I'm not sure where you would sign up for that, and but from what I did see, I can tell you that I've changed my opinion on wanting to just do a day one uninstall of 2020. That won't be happening. I'm going to be waiting, obviously, to make sure 2024 is what I expect it to be. I did see some good things in 2024, but I also saw some things on those Tech Alpha streams that raised some concerns for me. We'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Smoke them if you got them. Let's go ahead and jump outside for a minute here. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. So, control bindings being one of them. I don't like the way they have the user interface again for the control bindings. You have to, and the same bindings aren't the same as they are in 2020. So that to me is like, that's because of console, right? They're doing stuff to make it work on the Xbox, and I get it, money, 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 but that just seems so frustrating. That was single-handedly the worst thing about Microsoft 2020 was learning how to and still continuing to do binding stuff in 2020. It's pretty atrocious if you ask me. I think X-Plane is far superior when it comes to control bindings. Bring our power back a little bit more here before we go into the clacker. FSX or FS9 were the best. Yeah, they were not bad. You know, DCS, like Full Flap just said, DCS is the way it should be done, in my opinion. You set up profiles for each aircraft, and then say you want to copy that profile for another aircraft. So let's say I set up my P51, okay, and I have all my bindings for P51, and then I want to get into the Spitfire. I'm like, well, to start fresh, let me bring my P51 bindings over, so I have all my ailerons and controls bound, and then I can do specific Spitfire bindings. I can copy it over and then go. From what I saw, I don't think you can do that in 2024. And it seems like before you bind anything in 2024, you have to select the peripheral, and then it brings up the binding page. And they have issues with binding axes. They look at like they represent or they trigger as buttons, which I'm sure that's a Tech Alpha issue. I'm sure they'll fix that because obviously you have to have axes in a flight simulator. But I think that's where a lot of the problems come from when you just move, like you just touch the yoke and it goes full aft. I got a kick out of XP72. He was flying the 172, and I think that's what was happening when he took off. Like when he touched the yoke, it was sending a signal to the sim to be full aft pitch, and it was stall warning horn up and down. However, it was also a very useful stream because the way that the 172 was reacting to the buffet and the stall warning and the yaw, it looked much better than it looks like in 2020. So I have no doubt that they have worked on some flight dynamics in the new sim. It does appear that a lot of those more niche areas of the flight model have been worked on, such as stall, high AOA, slipping, things of that nature. But until we see the final product, we really don't know. But what I can tell you from the early access of 2020, they never changed the user interface of the sim from literally day one of pre-alpha to the release to what we have now. So if the Tech Alpha is showing that user interface, I do not think that's going to change at all, even for the full release, which is, I don't know, suspect if you ask me. Can you give computer specs? Boom. Thank you, Zippy. Honestly, I feel like 24 is mostly a game thing, career mode, walk around, being able to run. They could have fixed the layers so it looks natural. Yes. So Canadian, what 24 is, I would agree. It's about money, dude. Everything about 24 is about money. How can you make more money off of the sim that you've already created? And they've done some work, obviously, at the core level, but I agree with you. A lot of it is fluff. But at the same time, a lot of people are going to enjoy that fluff. I think us as the hardcore simmers, us as the real-world pilots, us as the hardcore sim enthusiasts even, that stuff doesn't really apply to us, and we are a very small percent of the consumer base for Microsoft, though. So that's why they don't really get too upset about it. Which purchase tier do you think you'll pick? I will probably pick Aviator, Cody. I'll probably get the Aviator pack. Just because I want all the airplanes. Sax Macro says using a 172 wasn't fun at all in 2020, but in 24 it was enjoyable to fly. See, and I can see that. I saw that through a couple of those streams where I'm like, you know what? A couple of things aside, it looks pretty good from my perspective of a GA aircraft. So I do think it's promising. I do think I'm going to enjoy the sim. I mean, I know I'm going to enjoy the sim, but I know it's going to be a headache binding your airplane up. I know that for a fact. Hold on, sneeze attack. All right. Jasper, I was very close to getting the collector's edition. Very close to doing it. Bojing Pilot says, is an upgrade from almost brand new Thrustmaster HOTAS base to Moza Force feedback worth it? You know what? It's going to be what are you looking to get out of your stick? What airplanes are you going to fly with the Moza base? Now, I do think that absolutely in the future it's going to be worth it, especially if you just, I don't think there'll be anything that'll beat the Moza base. But as it stands right now, it's still very young, and with the new Sim 24 on the horizon, I personally would just hang tight a few more weeks until we get the new Sim. We see what the new software does with Moza and 24. We'll see if there is any type of native force feedback or if it's still telemetry. So you got a lot of new things happening at once. So force feedback is relatively new for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. We have Moza, relatively new in the flight sim world. And we have a new simulator 2024 coming out. So there's a lot of new things happening. I would kind of just hang tight on any major purchases right now, just until we can figure out where we can kind of stabilize all these new things that are coming in. When it says I'm probably going to go basic, I'm done with the Azobo airplanes. Bought their T6s and they don't have pilot. They don't have pilots. They aren't clickable. And they abandoned support. Really? Oh, man. FS is a base for third-party planes for me. Wingnut, that's very well said, because that's how it's always been for me. Like, short of the olden days, when we were flying FS9, FS2000, 2002, default planes were kind of really it. You had some add-ons that were cool, but during the course of FS9, FSX, default planes kind of went by the wayside. Like when I got the PMDG 737, I never flew the default 73 again. When I got the Aerosoft Airbus, I never flew the default A321 again in the sim. When I got the FS Labs Airbus, I never flew the Aerosoft Airbus again. So, when's the last time I flew a default airplane on this sim? I think it was, you could call it the ATR, but even then, that's not a true default airplane. Some of the black square stuff, they're default models, but their systems and flight models are changed. So are they really default? No. So I agree with you 100%. I don't, and I think most of us do not buy Flight Simulator to fly default airplanes. Yes, they are cool for the entry-level simmers. They are cool for the younger generation. They are cool for the console users. And I don't say this as a knack, because I got 3 kids, and if one of them wants to play flight sim when they get a little bit older, I'll be all for it, man. Here, you want an Xbox? Maybe one Christmas you'll have an Xbox and you can fly the default 7.3 Max in 2024. That's good. I would like to introduce them that way. I don't want to buy the Fenix A320 and give it to my 6-year-old and be like, okay, let's do a V1 cut here at a Reno. That's just not realistic. Except totally buying hardware and peripherals. And Blackbird controls. That's what I agree. I said that on the last stream. If you have money that's burning a hole in your pocket right now, or, it's obviously Christmas, holidays coming up, it's a holiday season around the corner, now is the time to get the peripherals, because all the software stuff is in development. We got new stuff coming out. Time to get the peripherals. Time to get your Blackbird controls, Bravo Quadrant levers. Time to get your Throttletek max throttles, A320 Throttletek stuff. 7576 maybe. Videos coming soon. My new favorite quadrant that I've ever laid my hands on. Cat 3 design tillers. every airplane you fly, you have a tiller in it. So if you think about it, a tiller is actually a pretty important piece of hardware if you want to replicate being a real airline pilot and the realism of taxiing an aircraft on the ground. Every single flight you do, you will touch a tiller. So it's not as important as a yoke, but I would say it's second to yoke or rudders. So maybe third in line. Get yourself a yoke, get yourself some rudders, get yourself a tiller. Get yourself a grip. Are you a hardcore Airbus fan? Do you want to have a Airbus side stick? You know? That's what I would be putting my money towards instead of software at this moment. Wait, your kids don't have V1 cuts memorized? Not yet, Bills Mafia. Soon. Soon. Default aircraft lower the barrier to entry in this hobby. Yes, that's how most people get into flight simming and ergo aviation. Yeah, I totally agree, Onyx. 2020 has been particularly great for this. I 100% agree with you, man. That's why I'm not dogging default airplanes. And if you think about it, if you look at the default airplanes that we have, even in 2020, they are miles better than some of the payware we had in older generations of sims. So they have gone a long way in getting better. But it's just not for our target audience. Are you going to fly the Tollus again? Maybe soon. We are going to be doing... So we're in this weird transition. We're in this weird transition point in my mind for me. Like, I'm not tired of 2020, but I see all the shiny new things coming up with 2024. So I've kind of got... It's like that meme. You've seen that meme where it's a dude walking between two girls... And he's looking over at the left girl, and then he's got his girlfriend on the right, and she's like, what are you looking at? And that's me looking at 2024, and 2020 is my girlfriend. It's like, I see what's coming. So I'm kind of like 1 foot out the door, but I still want to fly this sim. So to me, that's opening up an opportunity. Well, let's jump back into X-Plane 12, and let's see what it's been up to this whole year. We haven't flown it in probably a year. I know the Tollus 330 is out. Tollus was very generous in sending me a pre-release copy. I haven't flown it. A lot of it's due to time constraints. I don't have the sim set up, so I had to get the sim set up. Other things going on. But I am going to be doing some X-Plane here relatively soon. So, but Diabetic, glad to answer your question. Abso-freaking-lutely it can be used on a 757, especially if that 757 is from Bluebird Sim, or the 767 from Bluebird Simulations, or the 777 from PMDG. Literally, it's probably one of the craziest pieces of hardware I've ever put my hand on. So there'll be some videos coming for that soon. Did you try the 24 Alpha? No, Russ, I didn't. I might have just tuned in. I did not try it. I did watch it. I'm excited, but I still see some issues. But obviously, it's a Tech Alpha, so we shall wait and see. All right, we are waiting for our top of descent. Let's go ahead and turn the sim up. And let's see if we can figure out how to clear this out here. So, airport search, SJC. I think I'm getting, nope. Search, boom. All right, edit clip. We need the Silicon 6. We need the 10.9 page, and we need the ILS 30 left. Complete. Oh, look at this. We're professionals with this thing now. Look, chart loading up. The bottom altitude is Clyde at 4,000 feet. We're already in the descent. Let's bring our power back because we are using manual throttle. We'll set 4,000 feet in the MCP. 4,000 feet is set. Let's come down here. Let's look at our init speeds. We're going to do a flap. Full flap sims in the house. We got to do a full flap landing. Flap 40, 139. So we will bug 143 for our VAP. Looking at our approaches, 110.9 and 306. 30-odd 6 on the course. 30.6, and what did I say? 110.9er on this very interesting Boeing situation here. 110.9 ILS mode, 110.9 ILS active. We're all set up. Transponder, we'll actually put you in below mode. How's that? We'll flick you down to below 7632. I'm going to leave the flight control page over there. Let's put the vertical path on our side. Yeah, we'll leave the engines over there. No, I don't know. I don't like the look of that. What if I do... Oh, man, you're talking about information overload. Goodness. And terrain data. Look at that. That is some information overload, if you ever ask me. We'll rock it. Looks like an E175 screen. It kind of does. Kind of does. All right, in the descent, 6-7 on the fuel. Seatbelt signs coming on. Oh, you know what we forgot to do this flight? Real quick. Before we hit transition altitude, I'll be right back. Excuse me. Hey, what are you looking at? Hey, let me in. All right, we're good to go now. We are good to go. Ooh, look at that view. That looks hot right there. I did flush. You didn't hear it? We do need some P effects. Someone asked Boris to get P effects. I didn't arm the slides. You're right. I forgot. First flight in the ifly descending into Amsterdam. The night lighting is awesome. Yeah, it's sweet, man. I washed my hands. I tried. Boris won't let me wash my hands. Waterfall effects. Down we go. Man, the weather out here on the West Coast has been so juicy on these morning streams. Had a nice clear day for our cruise. Foggy departure. Looks like we're going to have an overcast arrival going into the bay. Boris doesn't wash his hands after using the head. Confirmed. 100% confirmed. They should put a thing on the EFB to arm all doors. Well, Canadian, I would agree with you, except I found out that the 737 doesn't tell you if the doors are armed anyway. That's ridiculous. No wonder they got doors flying off. How do you not have a doors page? You have all this screen up here. All this screen, and you don't have a doors page. That's unbelievable to me. At or above 11. We might need a little speed brake action here to help slow us down. Let's go ahead and crank that out a little bit here. Because it's from the 50s. I know. The P8 has a doors page? Really, Wingnut? It does? That's pretty cool. Didn't I tell you the first ever what's it called? FOQA call was from P8FO. I'm pretty sure I told that story. Dude trying to kill us. I do not have any scenery enhancements. It's default Microsoft Flight Sim, which I absolutely love. Because 2024 actually looks better than this, too. Now, I will say, I have to turn my T-Law down with this airplane on my rig. I got to turn it down just a little bit. I'll run 250 instead of, like, max. Is it worth compared to the PMDG? EVT Gaming? Well, hang tight on this turnaround leg. We're going to be hopping in the PMDG 737 on the return leg down to LA. So stick around for a few minutes and you be the judge, my friend. You be the judge. If there's anything you want to see, You let me know in the comments and we will try it out. Alright, there's our transition. We'll hit this. Magic barrel ref 3012 is set. 3012 is set. We'll go ahead and get the turn-offs on. Cont. You're looking good. What is this? I feel like this is a huge waste of stuff. How do I control that? Is there a way to like change this? Surely there's a way to change that format. Selector left. Let's do auto brake 2. Selector left. I was trying to see if I can make that the boomer style, you know, full 360. Thanks Southwest for the Max. It's supposed to be sophisticated like the 7.8, but we all know that how that worked. Yep, exactly. 100% confirmed true as well. I know it. Multi-threading on 2024 is going to be a big plus, yeah. You ever got ill from cockpit controls? I've gotten sick from flying with an FO that was sick, so I'm sure I've gotten sick from touching something in the cockpit. When flying into San Jose, did you ever see the Intel Air Shuttle? Or hear their call sign high tech? Doesn't ring a bell, Johnson Aviation, but maybe. Doesn't ring a bell. Oh yeah, Canadian. So the thing is, from the glare shield down, it's a 787 pretty much. From the glare shield down, it's a 787. But you need to have a common type rating. Common type rating. Not possible. What's your favorite Airbus and why? And why is it the A340? Because it's got 4 engines. I want to take A340s from Dallas to Cleveland and back. That's the dream job right there. A340. You know what? I'll even go, let's do Dallas LA turns. We'll do Dallas to LA and back in A340s. It's an NG with bigger streams. Flight Deck to Sim said the same thing. Well, man, I'm not going to disagree with him, but I was on the flight deck of a 787, or I was on the jump seat of a 737, and the other guy on the jump seat, we were crammed up there, was a 787 instructor, and they were talking about it. He's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. Glare shield down, it's a 787. But all I cared about was getting home. I think I did a red eye, and I was flying home to Dallas in the second jump seat. So I was sitting right here. Hey, Fly Navy shirt mod is still here. Put your shirt on. Can you test it? Oh, look, you can even test the jump seater oxygen. Oh, you can put it on emergency? But it doesn't change the flow. Uninstalling. Yeah, so this is, you want to talk about cramped, y'all. Check this out. You talk about cramped? There you go. Where are you going to sit? Get 2 6-foot guys in here. It is tight. Alright, we'll stow the speed brakes. Coming out of 10. Probably need a little more juice there. Let's go. Lights coming on. What does taxi and auto do? Is that like weight on wheels it turns on? Logo and wings are up. We're at 10,000 feet. Looking good. Yeah, that's why I changed my dreams there, Bill's Mafia. That's why I changed it. Let's forget Ohio. Let's do LA turns. Bohemian Pilot, what did he say? Real Work 7-3 Pilot here. If you have questions, I can answer them. I'm actually flying the Max tonight out of Houston. Nice. It changes the intensity if the lights are on or off. Oh, really? Yeah, I've never seen an auto taxi light there. That's kind of neat. I'd be asking to move into the cabin for a seat for an emergency landing had to be done with 4 pilots up here. Yeah. Well, you guys remember that 737 that landed in LaGuardia, where the captain took control at like 100 feet or less than 100 feet, and she stuffed it on with the nose wheel first? It actually broke the jump seater's back. So, yeah, it's it can definitely hurt. Are we getting above profile? No, we're still on profile, but I kind of want to hustle down here so we can get below this layer. So I tell you what, let's get in here. Let's do a speed intervene. We'll maintain 220 on the speed. And we've got 4,000 set. Let's do a level change. 220 level change, speed breakout. Let's hustle down. Well, well, well. I'm looking at a live V1 stream. Hey, Douglas Phillips. Good afternoon, man. Welcome in. Not only are you looking at a live V1 stream, you're getting ready to see 2 legs in the 737 in one stream. I just seen a mentor page has a new vid out about Boeing urgent investigative FAA on rudders. I saw something about that, but I don't know. You know, there's a lot of fear-mongering when it comes to the 737, and rightly so, due to the history of the MAX situation. But I did see something about the rudders in cold weather, but again, I don't know how true that is or how prevalent it is or what the, you know, what the whole truth is about that. Schedule alert. Oh no, I can't do that on the 31st. It's Jets game that night. Yeah, we got some thick layer clouds here. Let's continue descent. Glide out or above 4. Let's pull our approach chart out here. Let's go to the FAF. Altitude, once we're established, inbound 3,200, 36. Let's set 3,000. Minimum vectoring altitude, hopefully. 3,000 set. This might be a legit ILS approach. We're going to get below the profile here. We're going to slow down, then we'll start extending flaps. Let me get flight recorder ready. And we also need G's. Alright, flight recorder is ready to go. G's is up and ready to go. We've got our cameras up and ready to go. Alright, we should be set. 1,000 to level off, check. And I will set speed 180. Flap extension below 250. We can go to flaps 5. Flaps 5 coming out. Here we go. Would you consider a legit ILS below 1,000? I'd consider legit ILS 500 feet. 500 feet or lower. AGL. It's legit. You know, you pop out. I'd say, I mean, you could even go like 700. 800 and above, it's pretty just, that's kind of a mid approach. It's not, that's, I'll just hand fly those every time for practice. Oh no, we didn't select, we got a problem here, chat. We got a problem here. Hold on. Legs. HVAC. Direct. No. Erase. Oh, legs, page. Execute. Execute. Uh-oh. Turn back. And then we got to arm the approach. And that's at 2,700. Oh, wow. We blew right through there. And now, let's arm it. Slope, glide slope, single channel. This looks like an aggressive turn here. We'll see what happens. Let's come back to 160. Below 200, flaps 15. Alright. Loke is captured. Glide slope captured. Gears coming down. Speed brakes arm. Recording is on. Should we auto land? Nah, I ain't got time to do that. Now, we need to get somewhat stable because I'm going to connect my yoke and things are going to go bonkers here briefly. So stand by, connect. Yep. Isn't that crazy? As soon as I connected my yoke, autopilot got disconnected. Alright, let's pay attention here. Let's drop the HUD. Oh, I can't do that right now. I'm not prepared for that. Let's just fly the airplane here. Let's get back on it. We're way high. We might have to go around. We botched that up. Manual throttles, manual flying in the soup. We'll catch up to it. We'll catch up to it. Maybe. I've never done a go around in the 737. Sync rate check. Descent rate check. Ooh, I don't know, Chad. We might have to go around. Full deflection. It's trying to catch up. Ooh, runway in sight. We got this. We got this. I don't have my flight director set up for HUD use. Look at that. Oh, we're still stable by 1,000. What am I talking about? We are miles good. Recording is on. Oh my goodness, Douglas Phillips dropping a $50 super chat. Douglas Phillips, my man, appreciate you, dude. Glad I'm seeing this. Is this add-on worth it? Douglas Phillips, I'm going to let you be the judge. There are no glaring issues. So, got that going for it. There's no glaring issues. It looks great. It sounds great. There's some minor inconsistency and little quality of life bugs here and there. But for the most part, I'm enjoying it. And we're going to be flying the NG on the next leg. So why don't you ask me in about 45 minutes how I feel. But, I mean, I have not been disappointed if that helps you at all. Thank you again for the massive $50 super chat, dude. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. All right, 2 whites, 2 reds. We're bang on the slope. We're on speed. Just a hair fast, correcting. Big displaced threshold here. Oh, man, I thought I had San Jose installed.
300.
Oh, we have default San Jose. That's not good. We'll go from Sacramento on our next leg. We'll go Sacramento
200
to LA. I'm sorry. I swear we flew in here with the scenery.
50.
All right,
40,
don't Airbus flare.
30, 20, 10.
Okay. Okay. I'll take that. Much better than yesterday. When I stow my reversers, they go full power. Makes for an interesting yaw. We'll roll it out here. Still a little sensitive on the rudder, even with my curve, but much better than yesterday. Or we'll keep it rolling here, and we'll just go right across to the terminal area. Man, I could have sworn we flew into San Jose with our scenery. Clear left, clear to cross. Let's cross right across here. Yeah, the wheel rolling is mega juice. Alright, let's go ahead and clean it up here. I'll see if I have the, well, I don't have time to install a new scenery. We're just going to go from Sacramento. We'll go Sacramento to LAX in the PMDG to compare. Or we could go right back to Burbank. Sacramento, Burbank. You want to do that? I love that wing. What I do remember from PMDG is I didn't love the wing flex. I love that slight wing just bouncing out there. Look at that. That just looks like it wants to snap off. I love that. Absolutely love that. Looks like we got somebody coming in here on final. Oh yeah, there's that MD-80. There's Steven in the MD-80. He's going to float it out. Float it out, float it out. Want me to ask for lower? All right, there you go. He's down. Full reverse. Man, I wish that was a bare metal livery on that. Ever flown a John Wayne? Yeah, I sure have. Gosh, I cannot believe we're at default San Jose. It's so ugly. And I love that San Jose scenery I have. Let's go down here by Southwest, though. We'll park next to Southwest. What is the auto throttle lockout issue? Johan Jacobs. I don't know if has anyone else had issues with the auto throttle. Basically, if you engage the auto throttle and it's not in the exact position that it wants it to be in, it will continuously command your throttle. You'll start to have fluttering N1s, like just 1 or 2% trying to match it up. Now, you can try to match it up as best as you can, and it works, but you know, they recommend going full forward and leaving it there. But when I go full forward and leave my throttle in full forward, then it's constantly trying to go up to max power and then back to where the N1 is supposed to be. So I either have to disconnect auto throttle or turn the axes off. In PMDG, in X-Plane, and in Flight Factor stuff, every 7.3 that I've flown has had some sort of AT lockout. Now, I can understand why, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to lock out, because you can override the throttles in the 737 with the auto throttle on. That's absolutely a real technique. But unless you have a motorized Quadrant, it's going to be an issue. So I don't know. I mean, has anybody else had any issues with it? All right, let's go ahead and crank it in here right next to the 7.3. This looks like another Max. Yep, that's a Max. Gate 23. I will see, Randy, I'm going to, when I throw up the Be Right Back screen, I will take a look. Who made that? Is it BM World? If it's in my content manager, I might be able to install it really quick. And just leave out of San Jose. Let's do a shutdown. I haven't heard the shutdown sounds yet, so let's turn it up. Set the brake. I never started the APU, so that's going to be a problem. Let's start that real quick. And then we will shut her down. I'm going to leave all the lights on. Yeah, default is awful. I apologize. The only reason I wanted to come in here, I thought we had the scenery, which I love the San Jose scenery that I have. We're spooling up that APU. There's the American MD-80. APU spooling up. Flight sim experience. You said you're having all kinds of problems with this airplane. Do you know anyone who requested a refund and got their money back? I do not. What kind of problems are you having, man? It's unfortunate. We haven't had too many. I mean, I've got my notable bugs, but come on, APU. It's an early look, so I think you've got warts and all. Jeez. All right, let's take a listen to the shutdown sounds. Oh, I love that. That wom 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 wom. That is juice. That low frequency wom wom wom. That is really cool. I'm glad we did that. I am glad we did that. Now there is no panel state saving, which is unfortunate. So we can't like just go to engines on. But what I can do is I'll flip these to on and let's go ahead and see what the replay says. Let's disconnect. Go to replay view for a minute. Oh, before we do that, what was our G load? What did we have? 189 at 1.03 G. Ooh. Flight 80, why don't you take a look at that? Less than 1 degree of side slip, no bounces. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this replay.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
We'll let it load up there. I don't know what's going to happen. Turn it down for a minute. See if I can set the flaps back to 40. We'll go to full screen replay. Yeah, I can hear. It's like I can hear the flaps. Looks like our engines are back on. Let's go gens on.
1,000.
There we go. All right. Was just looking at some other videos from others flying the Max, and the throttle jitter is not obvious on their streams. Yeah. So I don't know what it is, man. But like my throttles aren't jittering. That's what's crazy. Like if my throttles were jittering, they would be jittering with it on or off. So why is it when I turn the auto throttle on, it just starts to jitter? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Because I would expect that if I shut off the auto throttle, then my throttles would be jittering, and I'd be like, okay, so we've got to fix this jittering issue. But they don't. They stay stable. So what? It's a mystery to me. Where to next? Infian. Plan A, I'm going to see if I can download San Jose real quick and do the return to LAX. If not, we will do Sacramento Burbank in the 7-3. Or do you want to go back to LA? I kind of want to go to LA because that's where I'm flying tomorrow. And then in the Airbus stream, we're doing we're going to do a Reno turn from LA. So it's AMD's fault, yeah. Oh, that said a 176. That said 176 on replay. We're going to have our rules set out for this landing challenge with full flap sim. All right, here we go. See how we did. Hold it off. Oh, just a tad early on the flare. Tad early still. But hey, we're getting it. This is only my third landing in the 737 in like 5 years, so I'll take that. Just a hair early, but we still settle her down nicely. I like it. I like it. Look at the speed brakes up. Look at the textures underneath the speed brakes. That's pretty cool. Is that actually a screw or is that just a flat texture? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Look at this. Look at this. Tell your friends. I thought this was like just one of those images, like a flat image. This is the actual jack screw and nut working there to bring the flaps up. What? I gotta stop screaming. What the heck did I see there? That is cool. I don't think I've ever seen that on the sim. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen that. It actually spins. I was trying to see if there's anything I could see in the ailerons here and working, but I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you guys seen that? I mean, that might be my new favorite feature. But that's why I want the maximum flap sounds. I don't understand why I don't have those maximum flap sounds. I don't get it. That is really freaking cool, though. That is some simulation, dude. Dougal, I agree. I'm amazed at how FPS is considering its depth. Now, here's the thing. It is heavier for me. It still runs smooth. I don't have any performance issues. I do have a pretty powerful rig. But with that type of simulation, I mean, come on. The freaking jack screw underneath the flat textures working, that is next level. Next level. Okay, y'all. I'm going to throw up the Be Right Back screen. We're going to head back to the gate here. I will let you know in the chat if we're doing San Jose back to Burbank or back to LA or Sacramento to LA. We will be in the PMDG 737, and this is to just do a quick and dirty. What's it feel like? Is it the same? Is it different? What's it look like? What's it sound like? Because I haven't flown the PMDG in months. So I think it'll be a cool little compare and contrast, and I will see you guys here in a moment. Let me see if I even have a turnaround cam set up. I do not. So hang tight. What I'll do is I will put you on this screen, and I will pause this, and we will be right back. So pause all this stuff, pause the audio. Give me about 5 minutes, chat. I'll have us set up, and we'll be in the PMDG 7.3. See. No, stream's not over. I'm just reloading. All right. Check, check. Sounds are back up. We are back and ready. Okay, dokie. Gotta love the PMDG wrong binding set sounds. You guys heard that? Yeah. Anyway, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Right where we left off, San Jose, in the proper terminal now. We are in 999 November, a 737-900. Same livery for direct comparison. Hold on, I got a phone call. I have to answer this. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to answer this. All right, we're back. That was actually an important phone call. So I injured my myself. Well, I guess I injured. I didn't know if it was a muscular injury or an injury to my lung. And of course, since I'm an airline pilot, having functioning lungs is a highly important thing. So I was at the. I had to get those are the results from my X-ray, and everything is good to go. So we are A-OK, 100% ready to rock tomorrow for real world flying. So that'll be fun. And we'll be doing that Airbus stream here later today, but that's good. That's a load off my chest, literally. And where were we? We are back. See my above quick. What's up? Well, who do you want to ban? Who do you want to ban, Zippy? Canadian? What is Canadian saying wants to get banned? Another fancy Boeing instead of a mid-bus. Hey, that's all right. He's salty because he lives up in the great Canadian North, man. No, I was not vaping. I don't vape, don't smoke, don't do any of that. If you want to be an airline pilot, I'd highly recommend that you try not to do that, or if you still do it, try to quit, because lungs are very important to your medical. So 73NG avionics fans sound different. Okay, so here we go. I haven't flown this airplane in many months. We just got off the ifly Max, and I'm not trying to pit anybody against each other here. I literally just want to see, for my own compare and contrast, what do we got here? Now, keep in mind the NG has been out for a very long time from PMDG, since, it's been out a couple of years, actually. So it's had some time to mature. Let's go ahead and see where this product sits. All right. Into the cockpit. I'll reset that. And here we go. Boom, shakalaka. There she is. Now, my immediate thought the immediate thing that comes to mind is color. Like, it doesn't pop, and this is almost the exact same lighting configuration that we had. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. That we had in John Wayne, or Burbank rather, when we loaded up. So very interesting here. So let's go ahead and go up to the overhead, and let's go ahead and get some lights on in here. We'll listen to the sounds. I do love that I can click everything. That is good. We don't have a generator hooked up. Let's do that real quick. FS ground services, ground power request, please. And there it is, ground power. Ground power on bus. Yeah, I don't own the 800, so I was promised a bare metal 800. I'm sorry. I know, but the thing is, I don't own the 800, and I didn't want to drop, just for one leg. I prefer the 9 or the 6. I have the 6, 7, and 9. Full fix of 737s, and now I have the Max 8 in the middle, so I am set. Let's go ahead and arm those, and go back up to my flow here. Let's go ahead and go align nav. Let's just do everything we did the same. Heading STS. Align. We'll test these lights up here. Those come on different. Again, remember, those lights are dependent on how many, what variant you're actually in. Yaw damper can come on. Let's juice up this panel here a little bit. Let's give it a fair shake. We'll juice up all of our panels. We'll clear you out. I'm going to hide this yoke. Brighten these up a little bit here. while I'm looking at it, we've got wheel chocks, next page, lab maintenance. We'll do all that here. Release. I want to go to the doors. Okay, that's good. Door is open. Yep, so we got our stairs out there. Good. All right, everything looks good on that part. On, off. We'll do the same thing. A's off, B's on. Window heats. Those are coming on. Probes stay off. Cruise altitude. Bus switch sounds aren't as crisp. Yeah, they are not as crisp. I would agree. Oh. 3.2? Is it 320? What did we file? We did file 33,000 feet. 33,000 feet is set. And we'll clear that out now. Now let's come down here. Let's go back to the main menu. FMC. We are up to date. Pause and knit. Let's go to do the same thing. GPS left. This is going to be a... I don't know. I really like the sounds of this FMC. I like the sounds of the FMC there. All right. A knit ref. Oops, sorry. Go back. Index. Ident. Pause and knit. Route. Let's load this in. Now, I don't remember if I can do a flight plan request from here. Let's try. I don't think it's connected to SimBrief. Right? No, I don't believe it is. KSJC to KLAX. You can. It is? Okay, so I just haven't set it up then. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Do you remember where it is? Options, simulation. Oh, in the flight pad first. Oh. There we go. Like kind of like the 777. Here we go. That's us. Okay, there we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay, there is our flight. And yeah, now it is set up. Okay, so there it is. Thank you. Boom. Now, here is a major difference. We do have the ability to set fuel and payload via SimBrief, which is cool. So, first things first, let's go ahead and set payload. We'll set fuel. Clear the messages. Select route. Should be...
Traffic 43, 56, India, 30 left from Clyde.
Why couldn't I get the route though? Route uplink ready. Maybe I was trying to be too fast. Route uplink ready. Okay, so now we will load it. Uplink in process. Thank you. It's slow. Hey, probably like the real thing. Is it like the real thing? Is it slow? There it is. Boom. We're loaded up. Very cool. Magic barrel ref key. I'll reset you. Let's come back down here. And we will activate and execute the route. Now we'll look at our departure arrival index. We're going to be blasting off runway 30 right. I believe we're on the Spartans. Yeah, Spartan 1 Valerie. Spartan 1 Valerie transition. I love this departure out of here. It's you wouldn't think it's that crazy. It's just a hard right 90 turn. But it's fun to fly, and it's fun to look out the window as you make that steep bank angle check to the right, and there's terrain all around you. I like it. Back to the index, arrival, LAX. Let's plan on the 25 left. We'll cross over all the runway center lines. We'll plan 25 left. We're coming down the Ironman 2 and off of Burglar transition. We'll leave it at the FAF. We'll execute that. That looks good. Perf and knit, it should be pretty much good to go. If I click on my zero fuel, 26.7, reserve, take 1,000 pounds, cost index 55, cruise altitude is 330. 330 set, execute. N1 limit, we're doing the same thing, 27K. Now, what's interesting to me is we had 28K on the 7.3 Max 8. This is a 739 with 27K of thrust. That's an interesting situation. We'll do flaps 5 to keep it relatively to the same. Trim setting of 26.7, 4.16. We will set our own trim of 416. Which is basically set there already. All right, let's fire up that APU. We'll go left forward. And that way we can have the same type of ambiance inside of the cockpit here as we fire this puppy up. Jeremy, yeah, the PMDG sounds are more compressed and not as rich. That's a good way to explain it. They're not as rich. We'll take a listen here as we get the fans blowing, see what the ambiance is like. Yes, big difference in textures, John, and that's what I initially noticed is when I first got in the ifly Max, even though I hadn't flown the 7.3 from PMDG in a long time, I immediately noticed that the overhead popped. Like as soon as I went to set my overhead view, I was like, wow, this overhead looks really, really good. There's that Walker on short final. Ooh, is that? There's a Canyon Gold 7.3 over there. Hold on. Canyon Gold is a must-see. Is that a Max? It is. Oh. Canyon Gold. Love it. All right, APU is up and running. We'll come up here. We'll throw the APU on generator. That looks good. Do that wrong. Let's go APU bleed. Auto. Don't want that on. Turn that off. That looks good there. 330 is set. We'll get the logo lights. Position is on steady. That all looks good. Okay. Let's come back down here. I'm going to use this page as my pushback setup situation. FS actions, ground services. Let's release the ground power. Let's hit magic barrel ref key one more time. 10,000. Let's go ahead and set our top altitude of 330. Guys, I'm starting to like this 737 stuff. What's happening to me? V2 speed is 149. Bug 149 here. And we will have Flight Director 1. We can click those. Flight Director 2 will be LNAV, VNAV off the ground. That all looks good. Let's go ahead and put traffic terrain up. We'll zoom you down to 5, and we have an auto ATC squawk code of 3244. 3244. We'll put you on TARA. That looks good. Let's juice up this panel down here. Panel brightness. Juice you up a little bit here. A little bit of flood. That way we can get kind of a cockpit overview. I mean, it's still... Is it as crisp and HD as the Max? No. Like, even in this angle, and I don't know if this comes through on stream, but even on my 2K monitor, I can read this low pressure barely because I know what it says. When you're in the Max, the textures are at a point where I can, from this angle, I could easily read these lights. I know they say low pressure or field diff pressure because I know what it says, but it's kind of blurry almost. But definitely in the Max, I could read those a little bit crisper. All right, let's see. What else we got to do? We're LNAV, VNAV. We got our fuel. We got our passengers. We got our weights. We're set up. We're on 24.8. Is that correct? Let's see what the CTAF is. For SJC, 24.0. Yep, 24.0, 22.8 on standby. I guess we will disconnect all the ground services. All right, let's go ahead and next page. We will release the stairs. Doors are closed, lights out, and we need to remove the real chocks. Real chocks removed. Does the PMDG have a cabin? It sure does. Oh, speaking of, I need to bind my other views. So let's go ahead and cut across here.
San Jose traffic, southwest Boston, 518, pushing off the gate straight back, San Jose.
Bind this view here. I have the right side bound. I don't have the left side, so I'm going to set a slat view. Oh, I can see right away. Yeah, you can see right away in the wing texturing. Looks a little different. But you see I see a little bit of grime out here,
Whoever's called up, there's no voice coming through.
which is good right there. We'll do save that view. Our views are saved. San Jose traffic. American 357 pushing straight back off 17 San Jose. What we can do is we'll do the same thing with the Shift P. I know you can do the PMDG pushback, but we'll do Shift P. Pumps on. That looks good. We're set. Let's throw the beacon on. Brakes released. And Shift P. Here we go.
Feel my voice?
Got a spiritual wangs back there. Just wait till you start seeing 7.3 Maxes in Spirit colors here on the Flight Sim TO. Alright, well, we will configure packs off. Pack sounds cut out. Loud and clear. Unfathomable. I don't think it's not holding its own. I would agree with you. I think it's holding its own. We'll see here once we get the engine started up. We'll go nose to nose with Southwest. All right, brakes set. Let's go ahead and ground 2. Here we go. Let's take a listen to the startup.
It's the old man.
Hey, watch it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the windows
Love you, Brett.
are not as
See you, though?
not as juice. Not as
I think
juice.
Okay. I love you.
Thanks.
Now, the start levers do not bind natively into the sim. PMDG, come on, let's fix those. Set engine 1 fuel valve, set engine 2 fuel valve. Should be able to move those start switches. I do not have SPAD next running, so. A little lackluster there on the first start. There's this cutout. Let's go ahead and ground 1. I was talking through that one. I'm trying to be quiet. Shh. Well, actually, I'm going to wait till we get max motoring, and then I'll go back there. I mean, coming from a Boris Audio start, it's pretty hard to beat it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this and head right back to the engine view. Not the worst startup sounds. I mean, they're pretty good, but in comparison, not really. I can't really compare the two. Now, obviously, there is a different startup cycle and sound to the Max engines, but they just seem kind of tired, if you know what I mean. What does that want me to do? Unable 230 at Milpitas. No worries. Okay, let's go RTO now. Let's go ahead and set flaps 5. Let's take a listen to the flap sounds. Yes. That's what I want in the Max. Those are good flap sounds. Those are good. I like that. Now you see here, I don't know, Jeremy, if you're still around here, but if you look at this wing texture here, this is an acceptable level of dirty that I would take even on the max. Okay, it gives the wing, it gives the flaps some definition. Okay, I think this looks better than the max flap situation, just because of it gets a little bit more definition here with the grime. Now, I think this can be changed with liveries and stuff. We got some really talented creators out there for livery making, so I'm sure that will happen. The Max is just released today, and it's still pre-alpha, so we're keeping that in mind. Again, the whole point of this is not to say, oh, PMDG sucks, ifly is great, and ifly sucks, PMDG is great. This is not the whole point of it. I'm literally just doing this for my own curiosity, and for y'all. If maybe you don't have either one of these airplanes and you want to see what's best for you, there we go. So, all right, we're 2-2 RTO flaps 5, brakes released. Let's do a couple things here before we do that. Professional NG driver, we got to turn the generators on, APU off, cont, not flight, taxi light on, and let's turn the packs on too. Don't smoke them out. Look at that. I'm a pro driver. I do like the sound of those switches. I like the sound of those switches there. Look at the spool up time. Okay, that is a huge difference. Listen to this. I'm going to make this turn here, and you guys got to see this. This is a huge difference, and from experience, I know this will fix the sound. I'll say fix. It will make the engine sound that much better when you have a proper spool time, and I know this from experience because if you remember the fly-by-wire, the 320, when it first came out, it had the very, very, very fast engine spool, and even though we had Boris Audio Works sounds, the engines just didn't sound quite right because the Throttletek was commanding a near instantaneous spool up and spool down. Watch this. You guys have seen me do the takeoff config check, right? In the Max, it gets up to almost 50%. I'm going to do the same speed here in the NG. Let's pay attention to our N1s down here. Let's see if we can move these NGs when we do a takeoff config check. They moved like 2%. Do it again here. We'll let it settle back down to ground idle. And we'll do another config check. They move 2 to 3%. And they still roll back. See, so I think that is one of the larger tweaks that needs to be worked on. And I know ifly is actually aware of that. I've seen him talk about it. Let's do a flight control check from wing view. That looks good. I do love this. I don't know who made this livery, but dang, the textures look good. All right, let's go. 21 to 40% spool takes a while. From 40% on, it's linear. Gotcha, Sean. Thank you. Getting it out of that ground idle. When I saw the Flight Deck to Sim shorts video, he did 0 to Toga. Took 9 seconds for the engines to spool. Crazy. We'll check on the ground, Canadian. I'm not even sure you can see the jack screw on this. But we will check when we land in LA. Let me check my rudder. Should have done it when we were stopped. But I can tell it's much slower to move. Ooh, there goes the Canyon Blue. Ooh, wow, what was he, empty? That dude must have been empty. Alright, we are looking good. Taxi down to the runway here, and we'll blast off to LAX. Thrust set, good to see you, my man. You have to do a no engine bleed takeoff for max thrust. All right, we will do it. We will do a no engine bleed takeoff as well, just like we did in the Max. All right, so we're LNAV, VNAV. We'll hit our Toga button. Everything else looks good. Now, I know... Yeah, I think... I can't remember what Flap Sim does. Does he blank his bottom ND? I don't think he does. I think he keeps his up. I will keep it up. Full Flap Sim channel. That's where I learn my Boeing stuff, if it's not flight deck to sim. You keep yours up, Sean? Alright, I'm going to keep mine up too. Flight deck to sim blanks is lower DU? Well, Europeans do funny things sometimes. Ain't that right, AA Ron? It makes sense, though. I listened to his explanation a while ago, right? It's for an emergency, so if something pops up, it makes sense. It makes sense. But in my mind, it makes sense to leave it up, because even though I know that there will be, if there is a fault, you're probably going to get an ICAS message, right, or whatever they call it on this Boeing. But I want to know the trend first. Like, you may be able to see a trend happening with oil temperature or oil pressure if you don't blank that bottom ND. So, you know, I can see there's a valid argument for both sides. Yeah, I know I don't have an ICAS. Whatever the hell they call the messages. Oh, Infian, I did not change my code. Let me reconnect. Let me reconnect as a regular 739. My bad. I'll connect to the 739. Or I'll do a 738. There we go. I mean, I guess you could put your engine information here, and then that's blank, you know, and you could put charts here or something. But I don't know. I kind of like that. Doesn't cost you any frames in real life. All right, let's make some radio calls here. San Jose traffic, American 357 will be departing. Runway 30 right on the out to the northeast, San Jose traffic. Now, I will say that the PMDG is not my favorite when it comes to ground handling, but I will say I feel like it handles a little better than the ifly on the ground. All right. Isolation closed, packs are off, bleeds are off. Let's go. I feel like it's just a little more less twitchy, if that makes sense. You can put the drawing kid gave you when the deboarding on the oh yeah, the Air Canada Spirit merger picture that the kid drew. It was pretty funny. Ooh, what do we got? A 320 Neo behind us. Oh, look at that beautiful Airbus back there. All right. Wing view lineup. APU's not on. Talking about you, saboteur. Nope, definitely not a 321 there. Let's fix that. Bradley, you have to make sure you're going nice and slow. You don't snub the nose wheel. All right, we are set. Are you guys ready? San Jose traffic, American 357 departing, 30 right, San Jose. Here we go. Spool them up, 50. Let's take a listen to these sounds as well. Ooh. Ooh. Oh gosh, I'm all over the place. I didn't arm the auto throttle. N1 set. Throttle hold. Sorry, I didn't arm the auto throttle. That sounded pretty dang good.
Z1.
Nice and easy on the rotation here. It is a 900. Nice and easy. There's the click, positive rate, gear up, fly with. Straight TO1 at 102.1. That's the SRS trim, that's not me. Look at that rocket. All right, that sounds like acceleration. Yep, N1 climb is coming down. We'll lower the nose. Headed out over Milpitas at or above 5. Here comes flaps 1. Bring them in, flaps 1. Yeah, you see that wing flex out there? I can confirm after flying the Max wing flex is way better. Oh, right turn. It does hand fly nice, I will say that. I know the ifly Max flies great, but this is no slouch here. This is no slouch in the hand flying. But yeah, that wing flex out there is really jittery looking. All right, there's clean. Let's go flap 0. This is default sounds. This is default sounds, Skyflyer Dan. Ooh, a little pitch down there as we suck the slats in. All right, we'll trim it out for 10 and 250. Now, you'll notice we have an AT lockout here. I have the option turned on. So watch when I move my throttles. It shows you the position of where my hardware is, and it ignores it, though. So you could use that for, you know, disconnecting the auto thrust. We got a level here at 5, I believe. FMC speed, LNAV path. I love this. This needs to be, some sort of that should be implemented. Oop, we got to level off at 5, not descend there. Let's actually fly. I'm too busy looking around at things. Spartans is at 5,000. Oop, that's our packs. Off schedule descent, that's on me. Maintain 5,000. There we go. What's kind of cool about this is I can feel how I want to fight what the auto thrust is doing, because the auto thrust is trying to speed me up, but I didn't want to climb. Then I needed to descend. Then I needed to climb, but I wanted to slow down. A little bit of a fighting there with the yoke, but we're good now. Let's go ahead and level change 330. N1, MCP speed, up they come. Yeah, look at that wing flex. That wing flex is not as good as the ifly, for sure. I think the sounds are pretty decent. I mean, it could use an enhancement pack from Boris, that's for sure. Could definitely use a Boris enhancement pack. It just reminds me, you know, of like the old faithful. You know, PMDG has been around the block A long time. They have been the 737 GOAT for the long time. And only after flying the MAX do I start to notice some things that look a little tired. You know, a little tired around the engine pylon there on the modeling. A little tired around the leading edge. Not that it's not worth it. Just, it's the only way I can describe it. Just looks a little tired, you know. The old GOAT. Climbing like no Airbus could. At 250 knots, yeah, it's climbing pretty good, 3,600 feet. Now the real question is, will it work with the automation? But actually, I know it will. But I'm going to wait. We're at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn you off, auto, strobe off, wing off. Packs are on. Everything looks good there. Let's go ahead and go back to VNAV climb. N1 LNAV VNAV speed. We'll go ahead and accelerate here to 308 knots. Yeah, Michael, you're absolutely right. There's no competition. And that's the thing. As consumers of these projects and of these aircraft add-ons, competition is good. Because the lack of competition builds complacency. But I do like, you know, it's just everything. I feel like the PMDG is very, very stable in terms of everything working that should be working. You know, when something is not right, I'm like, that's not a bug. That's a user error. Oakland Center 32.2. Let's give them a holla. And is it perfect? No, not by any means, but it's also, like I said at the beginning of the whole stream, it's been out for a couple of years, so it's had time to grow, it's had time to mature. 32.2 is up. Turn the sim down a little bit as we'll hand fly the cruise climb here.
That's 104 wind, variable at 4 and 830 left foot line.
Local Center, good morning. American 357, 14-7, climbing flight level 330.
American 357, Oakland Center, Roger, climb maintain, flight level 330.
Climb flight level 330, American 357. All right, up to 330.
3370, request descent.
Southwest 3370, descend via the
PMDG is a good company, but they need to adapt. Yeah, it's just part of staying, you know, staying ahead of it. They've got their 777, which I think is the 777. I feel like is definitely got that newer feeling to it. I feel like they've taken more advantage in some modeling and some texturing. I'll be very curious to see what happens when they drop a secret project. But I mean, this is Old Faithful here. I mean, let's go off with this. Off? How do I turn you in off without? Oh, it's because my gear lever. We'll just leave it up. It's fine. I can't put this into the off position because my hardware is in the up position. PMDG 73V2. Yes, Bill's Mafia. That's a great idea. You know.
3478 radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 1.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Bill's Mafia. A hard V2. You know, like we had the Fenix, the hard V2. We had V1 that came out. It was good. V2 just put it on a whole nother level, took advantage of all new stuff, and I think that's a great way to put it. 737 V2. I feel like Microsoft wasn't designed with developers in mind, and PMDG had a lot of challenges. Yes, as did most other devs until Adobe created the issue, corrected the issue. Yeah, no, I agree. Blackbird controls. I think that has a lot to do with it. When PMDG dropped this, I mean, it was one of the. Well, there's only like there was a handful of airplanes in the sim, so they were one of the first to get their stuff out. When did the first one drop, actually? Was it before the Fenix?
For 610 with uniform, verify you checked out.
I can't remember now. Fubar, my man. Good to see you. How you doing, Fubar? I want to see FlyJ. Yeah, Torny, I've given up that hope, but I would love to see FlyJ work on Microsoft, but I think they won't. It was before the Phoenix, after Leonardo. Okay. Yeah, MD-80, well, the reason the Leonardo came out first because it was a straight-up port. They literally did the bare minimum to get that thing to fly in Microsoft, and then they said, here we go. Buy a brand new airplane. Oh, you want a livery? Make sure you sign up on our forums. It was rough when it first dropped. I did not like the way Leonardo dropped. It was rushed. It was just to be first. If you're not first, you're last, though, so there is a point. I mean, they got a point there, but I'd call PMDG immensely understaffed. Not sure why Randazzo doesn't want to invest into more developers, but for years he's sugarcoated with his legend forum posts. Hey, you know what? I mean, I don't know any of the inner workings of PMDG. I don't know how many they got working for them or not, how many they do or don't have. I don't know. I actually don't even know how big of a company they are. I mean, I know they've been around forever, but like as PMDG as a whole, is it a handful of folks or is it 20? Less than 10? I think they'll come around, though. I mean, like, they've already working on that 7.4, right? So I got a feeling that they're not just going to go quietly. They're not going to go quietly. I got a weird feeling. All right, I mean, same as the Max, though. This airplane hand flies great. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. This hand flies great, too. I do feel like the Max was much easier to level. This feels more unstable, maybe? I wonder if that's realistic. The Max feels, to me, almost too stable. But maybe that's how it flies in real life. This feels a little bit more like, okay, you're not trimmed, you're really out of whack here, this is going to punish you. The Max, I almost felt exceptionally stable. Jeremy, you're absolutely right, though. I see it not as being as rich, absolutely. Let's go ahead and go Command A, autopilot works. Command A, beautiful. Command A works, full compatibility with the Brunner, which I love. Go ahead and go back to full screen cam here for a minute. What yoke should I use? I use the Brunner force feedback yoke. Full Flap says the 737 flies like a dump truck. Once it's trimmed, it's solid. Okay, so that's how, at least with the Brunner and force feedback, that's how I feel the PMDG flies. I'm trucking around, manhandling, but once you trim it in, it's locked in. The Max, I felt it was much more, it feels more like fly-by-wire. I know it's not fly-by-wire, but just to explain how it feels to me when I'm hand flying the Max. What do you guys think? I mean, probably half of you in the chat have the Max already. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or indifferent. I'm just saying I'm noticing a difference between flight models, which I think is a good thing. Jimmy, yes, so Leonardo has done a job after the release launch. I agree. The Mad Dog now is much more up to snuff. Now, the textures are definitely a bit dated. You can start to see that it's kind of like the PMDG, in my opinion, where it looks tired in some aspects. Now, you can get the enhanced cockpit mod, which is great. I like that. We tried that on stream, but yeah, it's much better off now. I just didn't like how it first dropped into the sim world, and but I get it though. Just because I don't agree with something doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like, man, business is business. Full flap, yeah. Yes, I feel like it's more forgiving, even at a trim, yeah. Like in the Max, when I'm at a trim with my Brunner, I can feel that I'm at a trim, but I can still kind of, it just takes very little to hold it, get it right. In the NG here in PMDG, when I'm at a trim, I feel like, man, I really got to, if I don't hit the trim wheel, I need to hit the trim wheel. Like, it's just that instinct, okay, hit the trim. I know I'm at a trim. Trim.
To the Monterey Airport via
heading 140 vector to my destination.
Dale, I don't know how they bring it across. I don't know.
Departure with you, squawk 42.
Kyle says the Max is nicer to hand fly in real life, and if that's being true, then I would agree that even in SimWorld, the Max, in my opinion, feels nicer to hand fly on my setup.
Call number 1 for the runway.
Oh yes, Chris Moore. The 777 is more new in the cabin. Yes. Just a question: where do you buy the Microsoft ifly Max? We had a link to it. Where did it go? I unpinned it because I didn't think we needed it anymore. Let me see if I can grab it for you real quick. It's in their Discord.
So 1701, you're 7 miles from Zonto, fly heading 200, maintain 8,500 until touch on the low side, cleared ILS.
Let me see if I can get back, give you a link. It's very, I don't even, I can't find it either. Where the heck do you find to find the Max 8 link?
518 ready to service, terminate for
Guru, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Guru. McAllen, no, only when the autopilot's engaged. Without the autopilot, I use force feedback for both.
518 ready to service, terminated for
With the Max, I can't engage the autopilot.
at Reno.
Dude, where the heck is the link to the Max? I can't even find the link. I had it, now I can't find it now. Hold on, ifly. Very interesting, very interesting release method here from ifly today.
1701, maintain 7,500 until established.
Zippy had it. I think you scared him off, though.
He's already taxi attention.
You got to go to the ifly manager, right? It's available here. Here we go. I found it. That's interesting. I would consider myself. No, don't go to don't go to there. Just go here. Go to here. You don't have to go to Discord. Just go get this, and then it'll link up. Just go to that link I pinned. The whole situation on the release is interesting. I consider myself pretty well versed in at least knowing where to download an airplane for Microsoft Flight Sim, and I even had to search for that one for a minute.
American 23 on A2 left for land.
I know, McAllen, we need one. We need one, dude.
281, center maintain flight level 310.
There are panel states in the ifly. You just have to set them manually. Okay.
Oakland Center, hello, Alaska 184.
So yeah, there are panel states. You know that in PMDG. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say everything PMDG has and ifly doesn't have, because I mean it's been out for years. You got a slew of failure simulations and everything here. So there's definitely more. I think definitely more content under the hood in the PMDG, but that's a fully fledged product that's been out for a few years. We'll see how the Max is in a couple of years' time. The real question will be, it's loud. The real question will be, who's going to be the first to be fully compatible in 2024? Right now, what's up? So, Captain, if I spent 20 years flying in the military, well, more of that, okay. Velociraptor, I just think it just needs polish, man. You know, and part of me, and I don't want to take this the wrong way, but part of me also firmly believes that, they're dropping. That's us. Over to Unicom. Thanks for the 8C, America 357. Yep. I think there's a lot of developers right now that are scrambling. Maybe not a lot, but a handful of devs that are scrambling to get their product out and purchased in 2020 before 24 drops, because there's such an unknown with 24, right? From the looks of it, it does not appear that 24 is going to be a day one drag and drop compatibility. So to me, it's like, okay, so now people are like, well, we spent the last 2 years developing this for 2020. Let's go ahead and get it out now in early access. and then we'll provide either a free patch or they will charge for updates, which I will be very surprised if nobody charges for a 2024 update. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen. Anybody else miss the days when software was complete upon release? Yeah, I do, Wingnut. Dude, remember you used to go buy, you would buy the airplane in a CD box, and you'd be set for however long you wanted to buy it. There might have been a patch somewhere that you could download online from AvSim, you know, to fit. It wouldn't even be called a patch. It would just be like, oh, download this, and it'll adjust this and this. But yeah, day one, full drops. Everything is a beta. Service packs, yeah. Lauren, I know it. I did it just for you. I flew a 900 with Simtars on American just so you'd come here and look at that. I have the PMDG 744 boxes and MD-11. Yeah, Lambo, I do too. I've got them somewhere. I've got a handful of PMDG boxes somewhere. Drag and drop this to your gauges folder. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, that's what you remember putting in, like, you would drag and drop you would be able to copy the Posky cockpit, Project Open Sky, and you would use that cockpit, and you could put that cockpit in different airplanes. Like, oh, this is a 2D panel for the 73400. I'm going to drop this in my 777 or something. Yeah, dude. Good old days, man. Good old days indeed. All right, well, level 330. Everything looks good. Seatbelt sign is off. We never turned the seatbelt sign off when we took off. That's interesting. We'll enjoy our cruise over to Los Angeles. I remember merging the Just Flight 7.5 with Posky 7.6. Yep, me too, dude. Me too. I did the same thing, Diabetic Lad. Same thing. Rayman says my thumbs were too fast. I'm about to retire from the military, thinking about making a play for the airlines, but I heard it's a backside of the hiring curve. Do you still think it's worth it? Rainman, if you want to fly, do it now. You still have some opportunities out there. There are a few airlines where I would say that, yes, you'll be on the backside of the curve. There are, well, let's just be blunt about it. Delta, you would be on the backside of the curve. United, you'd be pretty much middle of the curve. American would be your best bet as far as getting ahead of the curve. But Wingnut's in chat. Rayman, I know you're also in the Discord. You're in the Discord, right? Hit up Wingnut. He has done the process, and he can give you some information as well from transitioning military to civilian. But if you want to fly, man, yes, you'll have a good career. You know, you're not, even if you went to Delta, let's say you got hired by Delta next year, you know, you're not going to be a 350 captain, you know, in Atlanta anytime soon, or probably for the rest of your career. But depending on what fleet you wanted to be on, it's all about your base too. Where do you want to live? You know, if where you want to live is a semi-junior base on an airframe, you'll have a good career, man. No doubt about it. It's not backside for everybody. It's not closed out for everybody. And who knows? Someone might launch a nuke here soon, and then everything's going to be tossed up in the air. So I always tell guys, if you want to do it, just jump it. Just jump it and do it now, because every day that you wait you're just getting further and further behind. Just like Air Canada, 25 years before upgrading to captain on the triple. Yep, that's pretty standard. Dude, I remember, dude, back in my day, I hate saying this because it sounds like I'm that guy now, the freaking old dude telling stories, but I'm not that old, number one, and it wasn't that long ago that this happened. But I remember being at the regionals and jump seating on U.S. Airways and speaking to the FO on the freaking A320 who said he's been there for 27 years, he can't hold left seat. That was pretty standard. Like, it was normal. Now we had a few years, we had this crazy thing where there was a short moment in time where guys were getting hired at legacy carriers with peach fuzz on their balls and like 1,500 hours. Now, that's not, I mean, good for them. That's great. You hit it perfectly, but that's not reality. So as we move forward out of this craziness, if you see, oh man, it's like 10, 15 years to upgrade, that's not a negative thing. That's how it was. That's the normal. okay? And you can still have a great career in that. Being in the left seat is not everything. All what you want to focus on is go to an airline that has a base where you want to live, okay? And if they have a base where you want to live and you're happy working for that airline, you're set, man. You're set. Enjoy it. Because chasing this, chasing money, chasing that can run you ragged. Now, I also understand the point of, because I have friends like this as well, who all they wanted to do was fly 777 long haul wide body. I get it. That was not me. I have friends, close friends. 2 of them have done it, and they're doing it. They're living life. They're living their best life. They love it. It's just not for me personally. I don't have the itch to do that. I don't want to say that I would never want to do that, but just where I'm at in my life, it's not like, meh. I'm totally happy doing my turn and being home for lunch, right? So, but if you're young enough and you want to chase that, I get it. Go for it, and then you can settle down and go to the base where you want to live and just sit there and do turns. But no heavy itch at all. Not anymore, Dale. Honestly, you know what honestly kind of put my heavy itch away is the retirement of the 747s, the loss of the 3-holers, and the 7576s, Once one American retired their 75s at a COVID, I was like, dang, that's really sad. To me, our current wide bodies are just, they don't like that fire for me. And it's not about the trips. It's not about the traveling. It's more about the airplane for me. And I'm like, 777, woohoo. A350. I mean, it looks cool from the outside. 787, no thank you. Like, if there were L1011s, 74s, MD11s flying around, dude, I'd be like, yes, sign me up now. If somebody right now started an airline and they had MD11s in passenger service, I'd probably just go do it. Like, oh, that's a great airline to work for. I'm going to go fly MD11s. But I don't want to fly freight doing that. But even the MD11s are being phased out. So, a freighter option? Nah, man. I'm kind of freight is not for me. Freight is a special breed. I flew freight early on. I flew the Freight Runner freight, so we were contracted out by FedEx, UPS, and DHL, and it's just not my cup of tea, man. Not my cup of tea. But it is, well, I'm not sure how competitive it is now, but back in the day, FedEx and UPS were some of the top tier airlines you could get hired on. I mean, that was, to get on with FedEx, to get on with UPS, that was a huge deal. They only took the creme of the creme of the crop. I mean, it was extremely competitive. And it was, that's just, if you wanted to do that, you had to be specifically like, that's what I want to do. And you had to focus on it and had to drive specifically for FedEx or UPS. And that just was not me. I mean, I got a glimpse into that world. I'm like, yeah, give me my passenger terminals, my coffee shops, my covered parking. Like, yeah, FedEx is not the place to be anymore. I agree, Wingnut. Definitely not. Why are we spooling down? Ooh, a little bit of a wind shift here. I heard a little spool down there. We need to descend. Uh-oh. We're already here, chat. 2926. Level change is down here for a minute. We gotta focus. Turn up the sim. Time to get back to work here. Unfortunately, we've gotten very good at building brutally efficient tubes with wings and 2 engines. I agree, man. Maybe make the switch to freight after the kids are off to college. They need an experienced chief pilot. Lord, I don't know. If anything, it would be... it wouldn't be freight, Lauren. It'd probably be like Aerosucra. Try to go hunt down a 727 somewhere. But even they retired them, so I don't know what I would do. Is the verdict out? Or are we waiting for the landing? Let's wait for the landing. I think verdict-wise, I think we can all collectively agree that as far as looks go, the PMDG is a bit tired, you know? The old goat is a bit tired as far as 7.3s are concerned. There are some positives in the sounds. I enjoyed the takeoff sounds. I enjoyed the flap sounds. But everything else is not as rich. And you can tell that just clicking around the cockpit and stuff. So definitely lacking in that department. Model looks great, but even the texturing looks fine. I mean, this is a 2K livery, I think. It might even be a 4K. It just doesn't pop, you know? It doesn't pop. Kids out of house, regardless, kids out of college provides more opportunities. True. Maybe I'll skip the airline and just become an MSFS trainer. Run the speed up and get to the path. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see if we got to catch it. Let's do this. We'll catch it. But we got to, what's the bottom of the arrival? 2,500 feet high. Let's set 19 for now. Why did it come back so far, the speed? Skill issue. Crop dusting? No. Have you seen in the A-Builds 350 previews? I've seen them a long time ago on Fathomable. Whenever they first previewed them. Crop dusting, though? No, thank you. I used to know a jet tractor guy when I was flying freight. I'd be out in middle of nowhere, Texas, and he'd be in his jet tractor, hot refueling with the dang engine on, because he didn't want the meter to stop running. This is wild, man. Wild West. All right, there's the VNAV path, FMC speed, stow the brakes. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, look at that. We blasted through that VNAV path. Pull the wing nut right there. Someone didn't do their after takeoff. No, wing nut. I actually said I can't do it because my hardware doesn't have an off position. I can't click it to off because my hardware is up. That's a Boeing problem. You have to have an off position for your gear lever. Jeez. What a joke. Have you heard beginning December 1st CFI license won't expire? Is that true, Nash? Would I be grandfathered in? Because I've kept mine current every 2 years. So does that mean, because mine would expire next year, does that mean it will no longer expire next year in 2025? Listen, Ivamo, I'm trying here, my man. Oh, Mark is here. Our official V1 lawyer. Good to see you, Saul. How you doing, man? Let's see if we can do any. Can we do? We'll do FPV. I thought there was a vertical profile on the NG. There it is. I don't really like that though. I like the max vertical profile better. There's no way to make it. I don't know. Would that be a standard? Would you run that wing nut? Would you run this like this? It looks like it's trying too hard. On the max, it looks a little more native. Look at those tiny screens. They're not that much smaller. You would run it like that? Alright. Yeah, let's run it that way. We're 20 and 16. We're looking good. Let's do our init ref stuff. Alright, coming down here. Init ref, we're doing flaps 40 because wing that's in the house. 133, so we'll bug 138. Actually going to be a lot, that's slower than our max speed that we did. 251 on the approach courses. Let's dial those in. Looks like we're going to be shooting this ILS for real. We'll try to use the HUD on this one too, because we used the HUD in the Burbank the other day. Ooh, we got to set a lower altitude. Keep going. What's the bottom of the Ironman? 6,000? I'll look at it here in just a second. Final approach course 251. We'll spin these in. Imagine a 1950 plane having a display the same size as your mid-bus. Where is that timeout command? 1095. This is just like the 1095. that. Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, it automatically, that's cool. 1095. 1095 is set. TARA, there's no above or below. I'm sure there is somewhere. Ain't nobody got time to find it though. Here comes 18,000 feet. Magic Barrel Ref 3007 is set. A little bit high on profile there. Let's get some speed brakes in. Ooh, look at that. Imagine having to manually tune your ILS in course. I know, dude. Imagine having to turn packs off. Imagine having to turn your own generators on. How do you not have, in 2024, a 737 that doesn't have a manual generator switch? Unbelievable. Alright, we're going to try the HUD. Because we're going to have... We might have to do this on ILS. I'm looking at the color symbology. Looks pretty good. Isn't there like a... There's a secret to this, to declutter this while the HUD is up. What's the secret declutter push button while the HUD is up? It's on the yoke? Can't remember. I love this channel for its banter. Hey, it's V1 Nation, where no feelings are hurt and everything's on the table. Why don't we have auto in max? Why don't we have auto in max? Southwest right there? I'm not sure. V1, is it a pipe dream to want to change careers and become an airline pilot at 30 years old? No. John the Copter, it's not. Matter of fact, back in my day when I was an instructor, the average age of a flight student was 28 to 31. At 30 years, if you worked hard, if it's something that you're serious about, realistically, you could probably get all your ratings and time done in 2 years. So that puts you at 2 years, 32. Let's just say it takes you 5 years to get everything done. You spend 2 years at a regional. 35, you make it to a large carrier. You've got 30 years to work the rest of your career. That's pretty good. So, a 37, toss around the idea of piloting. Josh, you're not too old, man. Dude, I flew with, he retired a couple months ago. He was a career air traffic controller. He retired at 55 and then came to the airlines and he flew for less than 10 years. And he just because he wanted to do it. So if it's something you want to do, I wouldn't say it's well, you can say it's never too late unless you're 64, 63. That would be too late. But you just have to put the financial aspect in play. Like if you're only going to have a 5 to 7 year career, then you have to have realistic expectations of what type of income you're going to make in those 5 to 7 years. And if it fits your bill, fits your retirement plan, whatever it may be, then go for it, man. Because the last thing you want to do is turn 65 and be like, dang, I should have been an airline pilot. Ethic White, click the link at the top there. Click the link at the top. I sometimes wish I could sell my credentials. I could go to a major now, but probably won't due to my wife's desire for me not to be gone all the time. Well, Rain Man, depending on where you go, you won't be gone. So I haven't taken a day of PTO. Well, I took 2 days of PTO because I wanted to fish a tournament. I haven't touched an airplane in exactly 1 month. The last time I flew was September 15th. And every airline has a contract or a CBA, a collective bargaining agreement, where they have work rules, compensation rules, etc. And there are some that are better than others in other areas. But I chose one that had the best quality of life work rules, where I can literally control all aspects of my schedule with a little bit of seniority. Now, obviously, when times are tough, it's not always gravy, but it's still better than the alternatives. Now, hourly rates, are they the same as someone else? No, there are other pilots that get paid more hourly, but I don't value that over time at home. So everyone's got to just pick your niche. So if you do make the jump, really look at what type of career you want to have, and then you can go from there. Could you fly a 340-600 in real life? I would say I could do it. Yeah. Would we all survive? Yes. Would we have to get maintenance? Maybe. But yeah, I could confidently say we'd probably all survive. I think Airbus has done a really good job in that, I mean, you can take someone who's typed on an A320 and they could probably fly any other modern Airbus and you would survive. Would it be, like I said, would it be super pretty? No. But I bet anybody could do it that's typed on the 320 series. All right, we're getting ready to shoot an ILS approach into LAX. LA Tower, South Tower's on 2095. We'll prime them up. We'll prime up the South Tower 2095. 2095 is in standby. We'll do auto brake 2 just like we did in the Max. See, this makes the screen seem too tiny. Let me go back to this size. There we go. You'd probably be just fine on 350. Yeah, Jeremy, I think so. I think the 350 we'd be golden. I think the hardest one probably would be, I say hardest, but the most different would probably be the 330 CEO. But even then, it's very similar. So, barring nothing goes catastrophically wrong, and you got to run some crazy checklist, Airbus is an Airbus. Some even say if you're typed on the 330, you could give opinions on 320 sim add-ons. Well, actually, that's true, Bill's Mafia. That's because a 330 is actually a 320. You just got to look at it differently. T-minus 25 till your next stream. Yeah, we're going to have to delay probably a few minutes. What did I schedule it for? 3 o'clock? I will probably move it to 3:30 so I can get a pumpkin spice latte, because I gotta reconfigure all the hardware. I gotta bring out the Throttletek Airbus throttles. I gotta get the Cat 3 design Airbus tiller, and I have to learn how to fly an Airbus again, because this is no joke. I got a long day tomorrow. 4 legs from the frying, not from the frying pan into the fryer, but nothing like going all in on your first day back. The only reason I didn't drop the trip is because it's with my buddy. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Ooh, Laura's in the house. Miss V1's here. Hey, will you deliver a PSL? I wouldn't mind that. All right, set speed 210. And we're below 250. Same flap speeds, right? Let's go flaps 5. Here we go. 210, flaps 5 coming out. Dude, wingnut, don't even get... That's why that is why I'm streaming in the Airbus next. I cannot do a Boeing flare going into frickin' Reno in a 321. Can't happen. Cannot happen. Cannot have a load 15 on my first day back. Do I have the list ready for the first landing back? I don't know, gray shirt. I don't know. We'll see how the stream goes first. See if I need any lists. All right, we'll do 180. I'm going to then select heading. No heading sync. That is so mid. Oh, 251 on the course. We're going to select heading 075. Heading select. Boom. 180. Let's go flaps 15. I do like those flap sounds. I know the I know the Max can have them that good. It's just for some reason they're bugged for me. Honda's at 36. Let's make this 4,000. And then let's shoot a line. I'm pretty sure I learned how to do this on Fly Navy's channel. So we're going to go here. Oh, shush it. Is our horn cut out? Where's the horn cut out? That's why you don't go flaps 15. No, it's not this. Bruh. I went back to flaps 10. That is one of the most annoying things I've ever experienced in my life. Alright, Honda. We're going to put Honda here, and we're going to do intercept 111. Execute. Nope, that's not right. Honda, intercept course 251. Boom, execute. There we go, look at that. I'm a professional NG driver. The nose gear needs to be down, or the gear needs to be down before flaps 15. Ah. Gear down, flap 15, have I taught you nothing? Look, I just wanted to see the flaps. LA traffic, American 357, just to beam Honda. We see traffic on final. We'll be turning behind the traffic over Honda for the ILS 25 left, LA traffic.
LA
Alright.
traffic, square ring 469. We're going to follow American 357 in.
Flight recorder is up and ready. Bus pilot getting nervous? Nah. Your life. I would rather listen to the kids screaming than that gear sound. Gear down, flap 15. Alright, gear down, flap 15. I will do that next time. Maybe. I mean, she's still pretty good. I definitely think the wings are better in the PMDG. Texturing model, I think the wings look better. Now, the real question will be, though, do we see that jack screw? We have to look for that. That was absolutely wild on the MAX flight. All right, let's turn it all the way around. American 357, fly heading 190, maintain 4,000 until established, cleared ILS 25 left. 25 left, cont. Those are all on, those are all on. Seatbelts are on now, you're definitely going to need those. Recording is ready, pop the HUD down. I hate the HUD. Tune into Full Flap Sim, it'll get you spooled up on a Boeing. That's true. Oh, seriously, I need to watch more Full Flap Sim. We'll hold it. Let's go approach. Oh, why does it say glide path? You have to hit Vorn lock? No. How do I cancel that? VOR lock? No? Wasn't there a trick for it to say glide slope? We're on glide path. I don't want glide path. Full flap slip, wing none, fly navy. Too many names. I agree. Why does it say back course? If this thing turns left at the final approach fix, I'm going to Alt F4. Recording is on. Check the link, Yamo. I got that pinned at the top. Okay, so we are descending on a glide slope. Not intercepting the course. I have control. Don't know what the heck that's all about. I tuned the ILS. It flipped it to 079 instead of 251 though. What's up with that? That's weird.
LA traffic, Spirit Room 469, turning base, right base, 425 left. LA traffic.
It was it not all set up for, we had 251, we had it tuned in. Now I got nothing. 1095 251. And I can't adjust it now. It's locked in. We're 1095 ILS. Oh, great. Well, this is not good. 1099. Is it 1099? I don't know why it won't let me change the course knob, though. I'm hand flying it. We're 2-5 left, right? I'm gonna need to see the runway. Let's get rid of this stupid hunt. Tower's not on. Well, I can see the stadium. This is why Airbus is superior, I agree. Alright, let's go gear down. Flaps 15. Gear down, flaps 15. Arm speed brakes. Say intentions, we're landing. Okay, I can see the runway, I can see the pappies now. What is our VREF 133? We'll call it 138. I don't know, y'all. You have to check. Was that a user error? We literally set up 251. We set up 1095. We're crossing over. Bring it in. I have 25 left in the box. Yeah, we have 25 left in the box. Death of skill issue. Oh, Bill's Mafia, I can't wait till the Jets crush your hopes and dreams tonight, man. Cannot wait. We even have 2-5 left, 2-5 left. Flight director off on. Why do I feel like I'm sitting super low all of a sudden? There we go. Alright, let's just fly the airplane. We're flaps 40. Auto thrust is coming off, or auto throttle. A little high, correcting. Matter of fact, let's just turn off the flight director because we're not following it. Wow, I can't get up to my ref here at flaps 40. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Check.
500.
Alright, 500 feet. We're stable. Check. Let's see if we can get the butter on this one. Fly Navy thinks I don't know how to land a 737. Let's get a little nervous for our landing challenge. Stable by 500 on speed. Gear down. Let's go.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh ho ho. What now, Fly Navy? What now, dude? What now? A 91. A 91. I missed the sounds of decelerating though. So on the Max Boris Audio Works sound pack, you can, with the harder you press the brake pedals, you can hear it. You can hear it as you're like pressing the brake pedals. It's so nice. Rigged. Pre-recorded. We'll keep it rolling here. LA traffic, American 357, we're clear. 25 left, crossing 25 right. LA traffic. A 91. Let's look at that again. Let's just a 91. A little bit of a side slip there. Pretty much right on speed. 1.04 on the G. I will probably smash the Airbus on the next one. You're absolutely right. Check the screw. What screw? Oh, yeah, we'll check the screw. Let's cross the runway here. I love that flap 40 look. Does the NG have a different flap? I feel like this looks more flappy than the Max did. Technical term. It looks more vertical, even though they're both 40 degrees. I wonder if there's a different flap on the Max. We'll cross over. We'll take Charlie to park. That's the same flap? All right, let's look for this jack screw. We got to extend these spoilers all the way up. Let's see if we can get the proper angle. Hold on. Okay, so there's the screw. Let's take a look. It is turning. Okay. That screw is turning. Hard to see. The textures are not as good, that is for sure. You can see here this kind of like flat texturing under there. Okay. I'm actually surprised. I did not think that was going to be modeled. But it is modeled. All right. We'll clean it up here. Flaps are coming in. Yeah, I'm actually very surprised. That screw was definitely rotating. Stig will definitely have to inspect the aircraft's autopilot now. Yeah, I'm really kind of puzzled at that one. Yeah, back course and we'll just go right here. I tell you what, let's go here because we got to be quick. We got to do it. We got another stream coming up here. So 49 Alpha for the replay. We'll leave it running. We're not going to shut down because we don't have time to shut down. But we got to see that 91 landing again. I do like the ground handling better on the NG. I will say that. And it's not perfect by any means. I honestly think the Fokker series from Just Flight is some of the best ground handling airplanes that we got in the sim. But in my experience, after flying both of these airplanes today, the PMDG just feels a little less twitchy. Just a little less twitchy. All right. We're down. Ooh, a Spiritual Wings is down. He's been following us since leg 1 from Burbank. There's a Spiritual Wings Neo. We got an American 7.5. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's a 321. 321. Let's go ahead and watch the replay and get out of here. All right. Disconnecting from Aveo Premium. Recording is on. Replay is going to replay. Let's pause it, run it forward. 321 wishes it was a 7.5. Really? That's funny because most of you critics have said the exact opposite. Guru, look, I mean, just from my experience, and I could very well have some random bugs going on with my Max because my flap sounds don't really work. They're super quiet. A couple other things here and there that pop up, but you saw the rudders. The rudders on the Max are extremely sensitive for me. And this is my. I actually have a different curve for the NG, and it's much more normal. You saw the rudder curve I had set up for the Max just to kind of minimize that back and forth motion. Is my auto throttle supposed to be on? So can I turn auto throttle on? I don't remember what I'm supposed to do with the throttles on replay. All right, there we are. We're stable. We're flaps 40. Let's go replay cam. It seems on brand with the rudder problems. I'll show you when we land here. Let's see how we did. Fly Navy is going to get ready for the DC6 stream. Can't wait to see that, dude. Is your company getting the XLR? If so, do you see yourself doing XLR operations in the future? Man, I don't know, dude. XLR means extra long flying. 3 hours, I'm ready to get out and get a coffee. Oh, that looks so greasy. Chat, that said 57. That said 57. Alright, let's see what it looked like. Did you find A38 in real life? Oh yeah, man, for sure. Actually, that's probably the one that would be the most different out of all of the modern Airbuses, but I'm fairly confident we'd all survive. Cleared direct grease. Oh, baby. That's greasy. That is super greasy, chat. Hold on, let's watch this in like a flyby cam. That maximum grease. See what happens when you practice landings? I don't practice landings ever, so... Oh. Since we've done 4 streams, I've got 4 landings in it now. We're starting to get it. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave you with this. I'll have 1 or 2 replays. We are gonna be streaming the A321 or 319. I don't know. Wait, I'm gonna fly yet. I think we're flying the 319 first. We're going to Reno from LA. LA to Reno. Full procedure. I might delay the stream by about 30 minutes to give you some more time to get a pumpkin spice latte and reconfigure the setup here. But we have to completely Alt F4 our brain on Boeing. We got to get set in. We got to get ready to go back to work. So thank you all for the support. Thank you for the massive 50 super chat from Douglas Phillips, all the other membership milestone chats, bank angle checks. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hitting the like button. Do hit that like button before you leave. We're at 380. Can we hit 400 before we leave? That'd be awesome. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.